Welcome to RPG Reanimators. It's live actual play. So today we're joined by Mike M and one of our wonderful players, and today he's going to be running Infilth, a scenario that he wrote himself for Call of Cthulhu. All right, take it
Well,
away, Mike.
thank you so much, Alex. Yeah, I'm excited to play this with you guys. We're gonna just go right into it here. Our opening scene is in front of a newly built pair of infill homes in an older neighborhood. There is signs of a gradual change as older homes are being torn down and replaced, and some in this area are bigger, sprawling estates. In this case, these two homes have been built on a single lot where once there was one larger home. And it is late December. There's snow on the ground. There's a chill in the air. It's about 8 o'clock at night, and it's dark, and vehicles are slowly beginning to pull up, and workers get out. You have been hired by CAS Construction to come and put the finishing touches on these two infill homes. There is your team and another, both of you doing various jobs related to your specific professions inside. So, of the three of you, I'm interested to see hear who gets there first, and how are you arriving, and what tools are you bringing, and a little bit about yourself.
Um, I think Jacob arrives first. He drives a sort of a fairly new pickup truck. Um, Kind of like he's always the type to kind of get the newest thing. So he's this is actually where a bulk of his money probably goes in getting the latest technology. He is a sort of fairly. I should actually check his size before I determine how short he is. Okay, he's about average height, and he's clean shaven. Uh, Probably has a hard hat on him. Maybe he's not wearing it as he walks up. But tools with him. He probably has like just a tool set. Part of his job. I assume there's some sort of pliers, some sort of wire cutters, um, screwdriver. Pretty much the basic tools an electrician would need. Stuff to like measure voltage and all that.
Exactly. So why do you think normally, I guess he would probably be working shifts during the day at different construction sites. You've probably taken the odd job with CAS construction before, but this one in particularly is kind of it's not too often that you have a overnight shift, and there's a lot of panic, and you've been offered triple pay for this. So what do you think about triple pay specifically for Jacob made this appealing to him? Probably that early adapting, right?
Yeah, that, but I'm also a little pissed off about it because I don't think being an electrician is an easily rushed job. Like, stuff can get missed. Like, this is something that has to be done well, not like quickly. So I'm a little bit frustrated with that, and I probably had a few angry conversations with people, but the money's good, so
Nice. It's the hearing about your pride in your job. That makes me think too that in this case it might also be a little bit because none of the three of you have worked on these houses yet at all. Is that it's a different crew did it, and you know that the electricity's already been wired in. You're kind of doing the thing. You've probably had more jobs where you like to do it from start to finish, and now you're kind of coming in at the tail end, and someone you're not really sure. Okay, well, have they done it up to your standards or not? And stuff like that.
I
So
have my hopes very low.
yeah. Sounds good. So yeah, you pull up and are getting out, pulling out your tools as we see another vehicle pull up. Yeah, which of
That would be Dave. Dave will show up in his uh, late '80s Ford van, um, and the outside of it is kind of beat up, and where he's repaired all of the body panels in it because he's too damn cheap to buy a new vehicle, and so he'll show up. The kind of tools that I'm going to have are going to be pretty basic. A lot of rivet guns, shears, metal brakes, um, different ways to fabricate sheet metal into. I'm imagining air ducts is what I'm
yeah,
working on. The
yeah,
HVAC system in this house. Um, so so that's kind of what I'm going to be working on.
wow. Wonderful. And yeah, as you're stepping out, you can see Jacob nearby. Before we move to your interaction, what do you think enticed you to this particular job?
Um, Mostly the money. I've got some pretty heavy alimony payments that I've got to make, and so I'm a little bit behind in that, and I'm trying
Gotcha.
to earn some extra money to keep that going.
Nice. And one of these days, hopefully, you'll get enough that you'll just be able to get a little bit ahead and
Maybe,
slowly, yep, slowly put some distance on it. Perfect. And
hopefully.
yeah, so you're pulling stuff out of your van, and you can see Jacob ahead. There's two other vehicles, and you can see a younger guy in a black hoodie, despite the cold, and holding similar electrician gear to, or sorry, holding plumbing gear, and he's setting up in front of one of the houses going in and out. You think you've seen him on a job before. If you remember, his name is Dan. You can see he's got big headphones on, and there's sounds of metal guitars thrashing kind of just barely escaping from it. Yeah, but you come find yourself face to face with Jacob.
Hey, Dave,
Hey,
how's it going?
it's good. Sparky, how you been?
I'm a little bit, I guess, worried about this job, but other than that, good.
Yeah. Do you know who roughed it in to begin with?
You don't.
Now I just got the email. Pay was apparently good, so
Hopefully it's not those guys from Ace.
hopefully
Guys
they
are.
didn't. Yeah,
Oh
hope,
my God, those guys, they can't do anything right.
hopefully they didn't buy
Jeez.
like the cheapest stuff too, because I hate working with that crap.
They did. They did. This
Yeah,
thing is a budget job from the ground up. Like, there's no quality work in this house.
Yeah, just as you're saying that, I think that's when Harvey arrives on scene. Alex, tell us a bit about Harvey.
Okay, yeah. So Harvey is a portly man who's losing hair, which is why he's wearing a baseball cap all the time. He always has a nicotine pouch between his lip and gums, and he really needs money because of credit card debt due to some medical bills in his family. So he pulls up in his truck, like straight from the union hall where he got this job that's offering triple pay. So his eyes
Mm.
couldn't widen that, and he's kind of blasting his radio. He's listening to a lot of country.
Oh yeah, yeah, nice. Yeah, so those credit card bills. So based on medical bills, do you think he's got a big family or?
Yeah, I would say he's got a big family. Um,
Okay.
So, and the tools he would use are like hand saws, hammer drills. He's a particular fan of his power sander, which he uses to
Ooh,
polish all of the wood.
nice. Sounds good. And yeah, as you pull up, you can see. Do you think you recognize Jacob and Dave? You've probably all kind of worked in the same industry for a while.
Yeah, I would say I recognize Dave, but not Jacob.
Okay, sounds
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
hand out the window. How you doing, Dave?
Good, Harvey. Good seeing you. Good seeing you.
And then there's Dan,
Yeah,
but he can't hear
Yeah.
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 I'll
Yeah.
kind of I'll look
Yeah.
back at him, but I'll introduce myself as Jacob. Nice to meet you.
me. Oh, pleasure to meet you, Jacob. Harvey Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. About that time, you can see a vehicle pulls up and a woman gets out, and you can tell it's possible a few of you recognize Dina. She's worked with kind of done electrician work, and sometimes I think maybe she did a project with Jacob a few years ago on a big set of apartments or something like that. And she kind of waves and comes up, and you hear the sound of super obnoxious, very loud music blasting from a large truck as a truck pulls up, and you can see Gary gets out of it. Gary is, I think, the sheet metal worker. There's another sheet metal worker who steps out, and he kind of gives you guys a nod, if barely that, and kind of saunters forward. And as everyone's kind of standing around making small talk, you hear the backfire of a vehicle, and that the kind of sound of a really old truck ricketing as it's driving up the block and stops. It's got the dark blue paint, very rusted, of CAS construction on it. It's got the covered canopy, and the door opens up, and you recognize Rich Masilvio. get out. Rich is pretty much the foreman for this site, and the one you all took the job from. Rich comes up and shakes a few of your hands. You're immediately encased, and even in the cold, crisp winter air, the kind of sour body odor cuts through, and you can see, as usual, he's fairly unshaved, fairly eyes are a little bit bloodshot, and as well, good to see you all. You're ready to work.
That's why you hired me.
Good job.
Good stuff. We appreciate it. The builders weren't available; they had to move on to other projects. So we're grateful we could get your crew in here tonight to do this. You three, we'll get you on 131A. You three, pointing to the other three, we'll get you on 131B. Yeah, get set up, get started. You kind of know what's waiting for you in there. I'm going to be checking on a few other sites tonight, but in about 2 hours, I'll come back and bring you some food if you'd like. Pizza, hamburgers, or something.
Yeah, I'll take a burger and
Burger?
a cup of coffee.
Or coffee. How
Yeah,
about you, Dave?
I'll have
That's-
a burger too. Coffee sounds good. I like
Yeah.
that.
And Jacob?
Same here.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so let me open up the hostess for you, and he steps up the lot, and you can see that the style of the buildings is very modern, very, very new. You don't get any immediate red flags walking up that there's anything specifically cheap, or it maybe a few signs of it being rushed, perhaps. But as he opens the door, steps in, you can see that the floors are finished. There's a fair bit of it looks like it's laminate made to look like hardwood, but hey, there's cardboard spread out on the floor where you're able to kick off your boots, sort of thing, and come into the house. And as he's pulling up, he said, "Yeah, we got the floorboards, or we got the trim boards for the bottom of the walls out in the. There's a detached garage behind the house. There's a bit of a trail, and taking Harvey back to the back kind of kitchen, you can see out the back window. There's kind of a large window and a back door. You can see it kind of drops down to snow-covered ground out behind the house, and there's about a maybe 30-foot walk till you get to a smaller garage, and he tells you that there's power in there so you can set up your tools and do any cutting you need to do. Quickly opens the basement door leading down to show Dave kind of where roughly he'd be working to set things up. He says power box is down there too if you need. Jacob, we need you to put on some of the track lighting and some of the other things around the house. You each have kind of a list of specific duties, so I'll leave you to it. I'm just going to see to the others next door, and then I'll be out for a little while. So if you have any questions, let me know.
All right, we'll see you around, Rich.
Yeah, good stuff. And as he walks, you can kind of almost, it takes a minute for the kind of almost smell to dissipate before you're able to breathe again, and then yeah, you're breathing in the smell of a new house basically, and if a little bit of the sour scent kind of lingers, it almost makes you not sure for a second if it's just Rich having already spent time here or if it's something that's settled into the building. But you hear the door close behind you, and the three of you are in the house.
Well, another job.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So are there any like blueprints for this house?
Yeah, you both. Sorry, yeah, I think perhaps he had a folder for each of you as you go through. You can see. I don't actually have a map to give you, but if you can imagine, main floor where you're coming in and immediately seeing a stairway leading up to the second door, and passage to either side of it leading into kind of a living room on one side, and a hallway leading back further to a kitchen at the back of the house. There is a main floor bathroom kind of tucked in right beside that living room, but the house is actually fairly thin. It kind of goes deep into the lot, but there's not a whole lot. A whole lot of rooms essentially on the main floor. Going upstairs, it leads to a master bedroom and then two smaller kind of bedrooms or offices. Again, there's another bathroom upstairs. The stairs leading downstairs, the basement is unfinished. So it's pretty much the whole width of the main floor, but without any walls or rooms or anything like that. It's just a large open space. You can see the one place where in one corner there's a furnace set up and there's a few pipes coming out of the floor for plumbing, etc.
Yeah, I'm gonna like take the blueprints and then start going around the house laying out for the air returns and the various
Nice.
air vents in the different rooms, and just trying to get a basic measurements about how much materials I'm going to need and where
Perfect.
things are going to go. And that's kind of where I'm going to start.
Yeah, sounds good. And you know what? That's the perfect thing to bring up because I think we're going to lead directly into kind of the first hour of you guys working. And so we just heard what Dave's going to do. This is going to lead to Dave making a crafting roll on his character sheet for that. And I'll kind of turn it to Harvey and Jacob to tell me their kind of rough plans.
Right. So my plan is to do a walkthrough of the site, and then after that, see what kind of materials they have to work with that they left and are supplying.
Okay. By the
Because
sounds of it, the materials are likely out in the detached garage behind.
all right, so I think my first step is to do a walkthrough and then
Okay.
head out to the garage.
Yeah, sounds good. You know what? I'm going to come back to you, Harvey, on that one. Jacob, how about you?
I'm doing walkthrough, but my goal is to check their previous electrical work, see if like I think they said they got the electricity mostly working. I want to see if the right lights turn on when I flip a switch, or if it's like
Yeah.
the wrong way or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it sounds like you're all doing a pretty cursory check through the whole house. So I think for what it's worth, we'll have you guys move together. Um, Before we get into the craft rolls, let's have everyone do a quick spot hidden as you move about.
Excellent.
Oh
I got
no.
I got a 6.
Wow. Okay. The other two are fairly focused on what they're doing and are already experts at what they do. They're making plans for further into the night and figuring out kind of process by process what's coming. It's likely as you're kind of kneeling down, looking at one of these kind of roughed in holes in the floor where you'll be assembling venting, that you notice what looks like a little bit of rat feces, maybe is it possible? It's a strange time of year for that, but yeah, it just looks like a few like tiny ripped up pieces of paper and things like that. Nothing, kind of just a little bit of waste maybe in a corner or has fallen into one of these holes where you're kind of looking at assembling.
Do I get like any odor, like urine odor or anything like that coming out of the hole?
You know what? Maybe a little bit. Yeah. The more you once you kind of realize that and look at it, yeah, you're not so sure if there may be someone living in what ductwork currently exists, but
Jesus Christ. This is really strange. This shouldn't be in
Be
new
mumbling
construction.
about.
Look, take a look at this. Like, it looks like there's some rodent activity.
Ugh. That's not good.
We have to get the once Rich comes back, we're gonna have to get like an exterminator in here and take care of this
That's going to
nonsense.
delay the job. What are we going to do about that?
I'm not an exterminator. I'm an HVAC guy. I don't deal with rats.
You just ask him to get some traps at the store or something. We're not paid for that.
Yep, not my job. I ain't no expert.
sounds good. And yeah, you continue moving around the house. Everyone's very job focused, but I think for Dave in particular, now that you kind of made that discovery, you're a little more on guard and you're a little watching everywhere. And you soon see other little places in the basement. There's a corner where you're not sure what they were doing during construction, but there's a rolled up ball of newspaper kind of shoved into the corner. You can see it looks stained either with coffee or some kind of fluid on it. Yeah, just little signs that and more and more it's almost like you're now expecting just to find something worse and worse. The three of you are soon able to kind of split off into your different tasks, sort of thing. So I think I'm going to have each of you do your role as you get to work.
That's a 28 under 80, I believe. So hard
Nice.
success.
So hard success. Okay, sounds good.
97. Not a
90.
fumble, but yeah. Not the best work.
Not the best. Okay, yeah, sounds good. So yeah, again, we'll circle back to you in a second.
Damn.
How about Dave?
I did well again. 26 under 32, so that's a hard success.
Oh, sorry. This one is rolling on your craft. I think is rolling against. So keep the roll, but I think your score should be higher.
No, I mean hard success is
Oh, I
32.
see. Hard success is 32. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Sorry.
sounds good. Yeah, no. I gotcha. So we'll hit the two hard successes first. Both of you are, despite what you've seen so far, you're able to get to work. You're starting to work on some of the venting, Dave, and Jacob, you're finding that the wiring so far seems to be okay. You have one places where you find a mistake that someone's made and rewire it, and you're starting to put the receptacles on for plugs. You're starting to put light switches on, things like that around the house. And there's probably a part in this where both of you stand back at some point and look at what you've been working on and realize that despite some of the other problems in the quickness and the rush put on these houses, you're both doing an awesome job. And so what that's going to equate to is that essentially I have it created as that as taking pride in your work. At some point later on in the game, you can give yourself a bonus dice on the roll. Right
Nice.
now, you're into it. You're convinced that yep, you can plow through this night, and even if this is just the first hour of a long night ahead, then you're going to get through it, and you're going to walk away proud of your work. Out in the garage, I think we'll have a quick look where Harvey is struggling maybe a little bit.
I'm swearing under my breath. Put another nicotine pouch underneath my lip.
Yeah, and you're almost wondering how bad it would be if you did two at once because it's not working. You're finding these boards that you're trying to cut into trim to place between floors and walls and all that. You're finding them almost a little bit soggy or a little bit damp. You keep having to do this walk back and forth. Maybe too, you're finding that you forget a tool or something in the house. So you get to the garage, you're working, and then realize, oh shit, you need something in the house. So you quickly put on your boots and coat again.
I need my
walk back to
beanie.
you need your
Cold.
yeah, absolutely. It's freezing out, and so you find yourself losing some time to making trips back and forth to working with products that aren't great, and at some point the first hour kind of more or less you guys realize that you've all been working for about 60 minutes and just be it between tasks or before you move on to the next task, you find yourselves together in the living room of the house again, just the three of you kind of just in process of moving on to the next thing kind of.
This is a mess.
I'd agree with you, but the electrical work didn't seem too bad.
Well, that's good.
That doesn't seem like the house is gonna burn down before the night's over.
You know, it is a mess. I think it looks as bad as Rich smells.
No kidding.
You can all agree to that. And it's just at that moment where you hear a small buzz and maybe a ding. I'm curious which one of your phones just alerted you to a text.
Mine did. It's the latest iPhone, so
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah.
I have a
Uh,
basic flip phone.
basically, yeah.
I have a cracked POS.
Yeah, that you kind of have to stare at and squint in the light to try to like figure out what it's saying. Yeah, tell me what text you got on the iPhone there, Jacob.
is there any text in particular, or is it should I just make it up?
Make it up. Yeah, I'm curious. Is
Okay.
it, who do you think? It could be a friend saying, "How's the job going?" Could be a significant other, whatever you think. Could be a product, a notification that your new iPhone's waiting. You've had this one for a week, and
Yeah, it's probably like his girlfriend, and she's texting him, and she's just asking how the job's going because, he's here rather than at home with her. So
Yeah, sounds
and
good.
I'll
Well,
just make like a quick thumbs up response.
yeah, sounds good. Um, Maybe after a second, the text comes back. If she asks you something you're not expecting, what do you think it would be?
Hmm, good question. She'd probably ask where am I, in particular. She
Yeah,
doesn't take this level of interest usually. So she's like, what house are you working on or something?
yeah, sounds good. So you're able to write back to her kind of the neighborhood. You know that you're at technically 131A Maple Street, and you know that was once part of just 131 Maple Street when it was a single property. Yeah, and with that, is there anything else that the three of you would share with each other before getting back to work?
So I understand that we're working on 131A and 131B is like right next door, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah. When
So
you
how are
look,
they doing?
oh, sure, great question. When you look, you would guess that somehow they plan to put a fence between the two buildings, but once that fence is up, there's not more than a shoulder to shoulder for kind of an average person to get through on either side of the house. It's right nestled up close, and yeah, it's possible that you hear the maybe as you peek out the front door as you're going back and forth from house to garage. There's no fence up right now, so yeah, it's possible that you run into Dan as he's making the rounds back and forth, and he pulls down his headphones for a second and says, "Hey, how's things going?"
It's kind of tough out here. It's cold. You know how it gets, and especially it's night work, right? So
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, you guys don't have a first aid kit at all, do you?
what happened?
Gary cut himself. He was working on one of the pieces of sheet metal in the basement and just took a good slice out of his hand. We tried to get him to go to the hospital, but he's pretty insistent on just working through it.
Well, that's the right way to do things. Yeah, I got some bandages. I got a first aid kit in my truck. Let's take a walk over,
Yeah,
Dave.
sounds good.
And while I'm walking over, I'm gonna say, you notice anything weird about this place?
Seems like a rush job. I don't know. I don't know. The some of the materials maybe aren't quite up to what I'd prefer, but every time I've worked with CAS construction, I've been a little bit disappointed to be honest. It seems they just don't have their shit together.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh, Dina found something really weird in one of the upper bedrooms. We were just kind of doing a scan through the house, and she found like a diploma on a wall, or basically a certificate of someone's PhD or something like that, some doctor.
Diploma, like all set on layered on new drywall.
Yeah, like a hole in the wall pinned up, like
This is
they're
some
getting
kind
it
of
ready to
joke.
be a show home or something. I don't know. Yeah,
You see
maybe.
any signs of animals?
You know what? Gary may have said something about that in the basement. It looked like, yeah, he had found something, but I was just trying to keep up with my stuff and didn't see anything myself. I could have picked some better wood for what we're doing here, but I guess they're just anxious to get inspectors in and get these houses on the market.
All right. Well, here's a first aid kit. You can return it to me in the morning.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
duck out
sounds
of here.
good. Well, yeah, an hour till dinner. We can't wait to see what Rich brings us. Well, have you heard the new Slayer by any chance?
No, I don't listen to that. I think people who listen to that were dropping the head as a kid.
He tries to hide the fact he's making a face, but he kind of says, "Oh well, yeah, hey, thanks, Harvey. We'll catch up later." And yeah, you can hear his footsteps crunch through the snow as he moves back to the house. We move into the second hour, and it's kind of just a matter. You guys are still have a lot of energy. You're still going right from one thing to the next, and I'm going to lead directly in with you guys making a craft roll again. And you can, for Dave and Jacob, if you want, you can apply the bonus from before here or choose to save it.
I got another hard success, 18 under, I think 80.
Nice. Okay.
This is for craft.
Yeah, you bet.
Um, electrical repair, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just saw there's an electronics too, and that's much lower.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. How do you do, Harvey?
Well, it looks like my luck's turned around because I rolled a 20, which is hard, but I'll spend 5 for an extreme.
Oh, yes.
I need to
Okay.
feel good. I need a win.
You need a win. So yeah, you can definitely definitely take the pride in their work bonus as well. So yeah, sometime later in the session, yeah, hang on to that for a bonus roll. Your confidence is restored. It seemed like you just needed to get set up to get going at it, and once you settle into it, you're getting lots done. And how about Dave?
Dave's not doing so well. He failed that roll.
Oh no, you failed that roll. Okay, sounds good.
Pass the bad luck around.
Okay, well, in that case, in this case, the rolls means a little bit more as well. So let's look at electrician first. Um, Jacob, you are making progress. You've had 2 great rolls now, and you're getting further and further ahead. You're moving through all your tasks. You're starting to guess that you're actually a little bit ahead of schedule at this point. And you're working on feature lights in the living room on the main floor at the moment. They're on the ceiling, so you have a little step ladder, and it's basically a track that connects to multiple lights. And as you're connecting it, um, you you feel like, okay, yep, there's 3 separate lights on this one strand, and move over, there's light coming in from the kitchen, but right now the light's off in the room so you don't get electrocuted. And you're just about to turn the lights on to detect them, and you notice kind of your shadow coming with the light coming from like into the darkened room on the wall. You see there's a second shadow standing beside you.
Yeah, I looked at that, and it takes a moment to register, and I like spin around to look behind me
Yeah,
because
there's
I bet it's rich to that creeper. Actually, no, I would have smelled him. I would have smelled him.
You would have smelled him coming, probably, yeah. And yeah, you turn around, there's no one there, and you look back and you can still see that second shadow, and you're not sure what's making it, if there's a second light coming from some direction that it's just your shadow doubled or something.
Yeah, is it like? Can I tell what light I think it's coming from, or is it?
It looks like it's just lights spilling around the wall to the kitchen.
Okay, I want to like move my hand. Does the shadow's hand move too?
Only the one that you would immediately guess is yours. The other one just stays
I
still.
don't like that. I'm gonna like this like takes him out of it. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
been
yeah,
like
yeah.
locked in. Now he's like focused on this thing, and he's gonna like walk over to the kitchen and see if anyone's there.
You look over the kitchen, you can see, you hear the sound of a electric saw blade going out from behind the house in the garage. And it's possible you hear Dave swear as something falls and drops in the basement. But yeah, neither of the other guys are in the house.
Shadow's still there.
Yeah, you turn around, walk back, you can see into the darkened room, and just where that little patch of light is coming, yeah, there's still a patch of shadow on the wall, and you can see yours is moving, but it stays, and it looks like a person's shadow, but maybe it's just a wall or something. You're not sure what exactly it is. It's maybe a little bit more straight and solid. You do have the light switch right beside you as well.
Do you have a flashlight?
Yeah, I think you probably would.
Yeah, I
That's
wanna.
seems
Even if it's just like my phone flashlight, I wanna flick that on and
yeah.
like shine at the shadow, see if I can like.
Yeah, you pop out your iPhone 17 and flip it open and turn up the light, and the room is bathed in no. It's standard kind of phone flashlight, and as you go over it, you realize that it's actually not a shadow that's beside you on the wall. Now that you're looking at it, it looks like it's actually some kind of mold or something on the wall there, and in when you're holding light directly up to it, you can see that it's almost some kind of almost a soot-like substance stuck to the wall.
I wanna take a picture of it and send it to. If we have like a group chat, I'll send it to that, or just the rich, and I'll put like a question mark. What is this?
Yeah, yeah, sounds good.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'll pretty much just say we need to get like a drywall guy on this or something because I'm not gonna go above and beyond and fix it myself.
Yeah. As you do that and you step back and you find that resolve again that yeah, that's not your problem, you got to get done what you have to get done. You step back and as you go back to working on the lights again, you flick it on, and yeah, when the lights go on in the room, you can see that slight stain or whatever it is still on the wall, and you are struck again, just as kind of a fleeting thought in your head, is just how much that does look like a person. And we'll flash from there down into the basement where Dave is working away at the sheet metal. You know what? Actually, sorry. Let's do a different. If you're okay with it, let's actually hit Harvey first.
That's fine.
Harvey, you are making progress. You are now have everything set up you need. You're in your zone. You're getting you know that once you cut through all these boards, you got to haul them into the house, and you'll be screwing them into the floorboards and or the base of the drywall for the walls. You're cutting them through, and you can see the sawdust flying from your saw as you're going through one after another. You have it's kind of a 2-inch wide little piece that you saw through, and then you put the next one saw through. And I'm gonna have you roll a spot hidden.
Okay. 81 fail.
81 fail. Okay,
Just
sounds
don't
good.
see anything weird.
And you go through one after another, and then grab one and put it in. And just as you are putting the blade down into it to saw, you realize that it's rotted right through. It's pure mush.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Toss it aside, go on to the next one, and keep on going. And then,
Well, if
yeah.
it's rotted, I'm gonna look at the pile.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds good. Investigating a little further into the pile, you can dig into it and you can see that there is quite a stack there of wood for you to go through, longer pieces, short pieces. And you know what? It does seem like some of the boards seem to have some kind of liquid or something that's been poured on them. You're not sure if some kind of fluid got in here or something, but you can see that probably about half the boards you have to work with have this similar thing, and it's something that's slowly been kind of eating through it. It's not an acid, but it's definitely been slowly weakening the boards.
Yeah, this won't do. I'm gonna separate the bad from the good.
Okay, yeah,
Because if
sounds
you
good.
attach bad to good, it becomes shit.
Exactly. Bad plus good equals shit. And you kind of have a sigh again because you were just starting to find your zone and get into it, and now you're kind of back to separating again. Another slight delay. From here, let's shoot down into the basement where Dave, things haven't been going as well for you this last half hour. You have a few pieces that didn't quite fit together as well as you thought, and you're up on a step ladder yourself, looking at a point where the vents kind of meet from going to a few different places in the house. Standing on here, I'm going to have you roll a listen check for me.
Okay. That's a lot of luck. So no, that's a failure.
That is a failure. You hear something come through the vents for a second and realize that you're hearing someone talking. You can't make out the words, but for a second you think that Jacob must be either talking to Harvey, maybe Harvey came back into the house or something and is standing near one of the vents that you're hearing. Before you kind of like settles on you that you're actually thinking you're hearing a much younger person's voice, but you can't really make it out.
Kind of like look around a little bit, and I think I'm gonna take a break. I think I'm gonna head outside and get a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
Take like
sounds
10
good.
minutes.
Yeah, you step out into the cold air, and you see up the block. You can see way down the other side of it. There's a few older houses. They look like they could be 80 years old or more, even, kind of thing. And you can see just directly against them, and so some places where there's missing very brand new, very modern, very square smaller buildings just carefully and strategically inserted between them, going up and down the blocks. Everything's covered in snow. You can see on the roads, it's all packed down into kind of ice. And you're standing out there just kind of catching your breath and realizing now, especially stepping out, just how good the fresh air feels compared to being inside the house.
Yeah. I'm just like I said, I'm just gonna take like 10 minutes out here,
Yeah.
just taking a break, and then
Yeah.
I'll head back inside.
Do you think your flip phone, you were saying, do you think it has an internet connection, or does it have?
I mean, I could get text messages and like, some images on
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but it's not really a high tech
yeah.
kind of
Gotcha.
thing.
Do you think you take this time to call anyone or look anything up or?
Uh, See, I would kind of check to see my text messages, see if I got anyone from my kids,
Yeah,
see if they would text me or something. Occasionally they do that.
roll luck.
Oh no, not 96. My luck has changed with my dice.
You look hopefully for a second at your phone, and there's no text messages at all.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're living their lives, they're doing their thing, and they've forgotten about dad working his life away, bringing in the money, and
Yeah. I'll cuz I'm like this. I'll just like take a selfie of myself at the job site and just send it to all my kids just for fun.
yeah,
Just cuz I'm
perfect.
like that.
And
That's what the
yeah,
kids
just
do nowadays.
yep.
Selfies.
Yeah, totally. And a few minutes later, you head back in, your head feeling clear. And probably about 10 minutes passes. You're all three of you are kind of in the house at the moment. There's a few places where Harvey's starting to attach some of the floorboards and wall trims and door door jams type things. Jacob's kind of finishing and moving out through. And the three of you are kind of run into each other again, and you just hear the sound outside of Rich's truck pull up, and the brakes kind of squeak loudly as the vehicle stops. You hear another backfire before the engine turns off.
Sandwich time.
Over your nose.
Yeah. A few minutes pass, and eventually you guys hear a knock at the door before the front door opens, and Rich steps in. He's got a paper bag. You can see grease is kind of on the bottom of it, kind of turning the bottom of the bag dark. And he steps in, and he's got one of those little gray things that holds multiple cups in it, and kind of offers it to you guys and sets you each up with a burger. So how's it going?
Electrical work's going well. There's that I put it in the chat. There's the mold thing in there.
Oh yeah, let me have a look at it. You didn't touch it, did you?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm,
Just
I'm
making
not
sure.
getting whatever that is.
You know what? It could just be a little bit of dampness. These houses were kind of being worked on, then not. It's construction kind of stopped and started a few times on them.
Yeah, I just want to deal with it before inspection. So I don't want to deal with it. Someone's gonna have to deal with it before inspection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. I can see you're getting somewhere with the carpentry there, Harvey.
Well, that's right. I'm doing good, but I'm only as good as the materials that you supply me. And I kind of wave over to the bad pile.
Oh yes, Al. Well, sorry. With the price of things these days, we try to pick what the best we can for
But
what
you,
we can
you still
get.
want
But
me to put that in.
you know what?
Is that what
Maybe I
you're saying?
can. Maybe I'll head next door and see if we can borrow some of theirs if it's enough to get you through the job. But you know what? Don't worry too much. Look at you.
I mean, we're all getting paid either way.
Yeah, absolutely. And and there's just enough pause there that you kind of have a moment of worry, and he says, but no other major troubles. How about you, Dave?
I am a sheet metal worker. I am not an exterminator. So you have a pretty bad rat problem in this house.
Oh, really? That
Yeah.
surprises me. It's been locked up. Not a lot of places for rats to hide even.
Yeah, I've found rat droppings, I've found newspaper shreds, I've found nests. It's pretty bad. So
Oh,
I have to say this is really, and I don't mean this in a bad to be ugly, Rich, but this is probably the worst new construction house I've ever worked on.
and you see him kind of just stop and stare at you as you say that. His jaw kind of hangs open a bit. You can see dark yellow teeth. One tooth seems to have kind of turned black in his mouth, and he just stares at you for a second and says, "Well, I'm sorry we didn't meet your high standards there, Dave.
I
You
mean,
know, if you
it's not just me. I mean, you've got to turn around and sell this house. So, if you've got bad construction, if you've got moldy walls, if you've got rats in the basement, I don't think you're actually going to get a good return on investment with this house. So it's not
okay,
really a criticism of you. It's just more of stating the obvious.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm sorry. Sorry, things have been
It's not your
stressful
job.
lately. There's there's a lot going on. You know what, you guys, I appreciate you coming in tonight. I am. I appreciate you pointing that out. We'll do better. We can do better, right? It's you make a good point, both of you, and Harvey too. We'll get you some better wood. Maybe I can head out, see if there's any hardware stores open. It's about 10 o'clock at night now, so that's extremely doubtful. Unless they have their own stockpile of supplies at some place in the city.
You're gonna peel that out from an existing job site.
Yeah. You half wonder for a second if he might just do that. And
It doesn't matter to me. I'm here for the money.
like, well, hey, makes sense. Aren't we all right? And I better deliver some sandwiches next door though before they get cold. So I'll let you guys eat and get back to it. I'll check in a few more hours and see how you're doing.
When he leaves, I'm gonna examine the burger. Anything funny about it?
Oh, good question. You Yeah, you can see that there's kind of cardboard set up around the living room for you guys to eat. And as you kind of unwrap the burger, at first glance, it certainly looks fine. Um, Let me
Uh-oh.
just check here.
The answer
Um,
shouldn't be taking this long.
the
Yeah.
answer shouldn't be taking as long. Yeah, sorry, it's been a while since I've read this. So
No,
No,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
what we
that way.
meant.
It's that it means it's
as
something bad.
yeah, so Harvey, I think you just gently pick the lid, the top half of the bun up, and
Yeah, I
just
don't like
slowly peer.
pickles. I check.
Yeah, exactly. How about Jacob and Dave?
I see Harvey disassembling his sandwich, and so I start to do the same thing.
Did you bite into it before?
No, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm more focused on the coffee now, so um I'll sniff it cautiously. Is it like crappy like burger place
It's just got
coffee?
like a dead rat in it.
It's definitely not the highest quality coffee. It's yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably pop the lid off to put like, maybe like a creamer packet, some sugar in it.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. So yeah, you know what? I think then you're still being fairly cautious, so I'm gonna have the three of you make a power roll.
Uh-oh.
oh, Jesus.
That's 50 under 65.
I passed
Okay.
30 out of 40. I failed that.
Okay. Dave, you see Harvey kind of digging into his burger, and a second later you see him grab a pickle and flip it out to the side. It lands on one of the cardboard pieces as he kind of and you realize he's kind of being a bit picky as he goes through it, and seeing nothing kind of really strange with your burger, you conclude that it seems more or less okay.
Okay. If it seems all right, then I'll put it back together and I'll go ahead and eat it
Yeah,
as as is. I don't pick up his pickles or whatever he's
yeah,
throwing off
scoop
of it.
them up or anything like that. Yeah,
no,
sounds
I
good.
don't do that.
As this is happening, Jacob, you've put in some cream into it, and as you stir your coffee, you see almost a little streak in it of something shining up at you, and it's liquid, but it's almost like that oil sheen of it, like almost reflecting different colors, kind of thing.
Sniff it.
You're pretty sure there's something not right about this coffee.
Can't even trust those idiots at the burger restaurant.
Yeah. And we'll flip over to Harvey. Harvey, you've pulled the pickles out, and you've started to move through some of the little pieces of tomatoes on it and stuff like that, and it's kind of like a little excavation site as you're digging through pieces and
Oh
pieces,
boy.
and a little fleck of lettuce comes off, and you kind of wince a little bit, seeing that it might not be the freshest lettuce in the world you've necessarily seen on the burger, but there in the cheese is something wiggling.
Oh, okay. I'm the type of person to just take the burger and just chuck it. What the
Okay.
fuck? And I will chuck it at a wall.
And it hits the wall and all but explodes. It falls down, disassembled sort of thing in pieces, and you can see that that little disc of beef just sits kind of half on the floor, half on the wall,
And I
and
still see the wiggling thing on it.
you know what? Not at first, and then you kind of stare at it and give a second look, and yeah, and you're increasingly convinced there's maybe more than one wiggling thing on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat that. And I turn around and I see Dave eating it.
Yeah, Dave's on his second bite, and you can see that Harvey's burgers exploded against the wall.
I'll point out the
Uh,
worms.
yeah, they look like little maggots almost, and as you kind of prod at it, you can see how old the meat looks in the inside the bun as well. Jacob, seeing his reaction, I'm going to give you another power roll.
That's a fail.
Oh, sorry, no, I didn't mean Jacob. I meant Dave.
Oh,
sorry.
Dave. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's a failure.
That's funny that
Got it.
his burger would prompt such a reaction from him. And yours tastes okay. You take another bite.
If it seems all right, I'm gonna keep eating.
Are you looking at it now, or?
Well, I'm like
Okay.
I'm looking over at Jacobs, and I'm like trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, sounds like. How's Jacob doing?
Jacob, he hasn't touched his burger. He's been looking at this coffee, and I think I've seen enough from Harvey that I'm not gonna eat my burger. But looking at this coffee, I don't trust it either. Like, I don't know what clown made this shit, but I'm just gonna go pour it in the backyard.
You see it ripple.
Yeah, no, I'm pouring it faster into the backyard.
Okay, you open the back door and step out into the snow, and as you pour, you pour about half of it into the backyard before the rest of it is almost a semi-solid mass at the bottom that kind of slides out of the cup and into the snow.
I'm gonna make a sanity roll just for this kind of whole experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just shit stacking up, shit being weird. I think that's a success. 35 under. Yeah, that's a success.
Okay. In that case, no, you find yourself almost starting to dry heave a little bit, but there's no sanity damage. You can you manage to keep it together and come back in. You can see that after that, Dave has definitely stopped eating, probably.
Yeah, I'm kind of just whatever I had in my mouth is in the bag, and I put the sandwich in the bag, and I'm just not I'm done. What the fuck?
We should clean.
Dave, I'm going to have you make a Constitution roll.
Much better. Much better. That is a 9.
Okay, perfect. That's good. And you feel suddenly a wave of discomfort radiate from your stomach through the rest of your body, and you almost have an urge to expel it from your body and manage to control it and think, okay, well, maybe there's some snacks out in the truck or out in the van and something, and you just keep moving and this will work its way through eventually and out, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. I'll head to the van and see if I can dig something out.
I think
Yeah.
I got a few Red Bulls in my truck.
I'll try one of those.
I'm just gonna leave the job site and go to like a 7-Eleven for a bunch of some cheap coffee
Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah.
for
You pull.
everyone else.
Harvey he jumps into his vehicle and tears out. You know, there's one. You passed one on the way into the job site, probably about maybe 4 minutes away, is the type thing. Jacob, you passed Dave a Red Bull, as you were saying, and the two of you are standing in front of the house. You can see the vehicles are all still around. You can see Rich's truck is still there. You can see the windows are quite fogged. The truck is running. There's exhaust coming out of the tailpipe of it. He's kind of just sitting there for the moment, it seems. He hasn't, you no idea if he's really noticed you or anything like that.
And you said this was Rich in his truck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go over to Rich. It's kind of just knock on his driver's side window.
Okay. You know what? Give me a spot hidden as you do that.
That's good. That's an 8.
Nice. Okay. You're just about to knock and you can just see the windows are fairly fogged up. There's a few places around the edge. And so you kind of do the thing where you're kind of looking around the foggy parts to make sure that, yeah, he is in the vehicle. And you can see that he seems to be he seems very focused on some book in his lap as he's sitting there behind the driver's seat.
Okay, I'll take a second to just look. And yeah, is it a dirty magazine that he's got in his lap?
You know what? That's certainly
That's
what and
fucking gross.
Your mind flashes back to the burger for a quick second, and but no, it looks actually, if anything, it's much stranger than that. You can see you get a glimpse of kind of scrawled writing on it, and you're not really sure what it is that he is reading, but it seems written in some kind of very elaborate text. And as he hears you knock, he looks up almost in a panic, slams the book shut, and just kind of tucks it into the passenger seat and rolls down the window. Dave, how you doing?
Not so well. That food you brought us was pretty bad, actually. Where'd you get it from?
Oh, just down the street. Just fast food, open all night kind of type thing. You need something else? Can I get you something more?
Don't worry about it. Harvey's on his way down to the 7-Eleven. We're gonna get it sorted. I saw you in the truck. You didn't look right, so I just wanted to come over and check on you.
Oh yeah, no, things are good. Just going through my calendar appointments and stuff like that. There are a few jobs going on at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry for my words earlier. I kind of feel a little bit bad that I got a bit offended. You have every right to complain.
Hey man, I'm just looking out for you. You know, I mean, I didn't want you to take it personal. That was not my intention. But you got to make some money on this deal, obviously, because you're paying us a lot of money to fix this job, and I feel bad that you might lose some money if that's what might happen. So.
Thanks. You know what? I appreciate that. You know what? I'm gonna talk to the higher ups and maybe I can pull some strings and get you guys even a little bit of a bonus for completion of it. I know it's been a stressful night and you still got hours to go for that matter.
Yeah, we're trying to do the best we can. We're working through it. Hopefully the other team's doing okay.
Yeah, hope so. I did stop in. Looked like there was a little bit of an injury there or something with one gentleman in the basement, but
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine if he gets the proper care he needs. He shouldn't have any problem at all.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Uh,
well, I'm gonna head off for a bit and check on one of our other sites. Is there anything you need me to get you guys?
um, not right now. I think
Hmm.
we're okay, good. So just stop by a little later on, see how we're going. Check
Yeah,
in with us.
sounds good. And well, sorry, uh, I'll have to scope a few more places nearby for future food stops. Sorry about that.
Hey, it's okay. Sometimes you never know. It's good today, bad tomorrow. Who knows about these places?
Yeah. Hey, well, hey, at least you tried it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all good. It's all good. I ain't mad.
Yeah, good to hear. Well, yeah, we'll catch you later, Dave. And he rolls up the window and gives you a wave. You step away and reeling as much from his breath as anything as he was speaking to you. Um, Dude should probably book a dentist appointment at sometime soon. You're thinking, but then again, he's got more than a few signs of maybe not taking care of himself as much as he should. You're standing in front of the house with Jacob a few feet away, as Jacob's locking up his truck.
Yeah,
Couple
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say Jacob's gonna be probably would have gone and at least cleaned up some of that burger mess, just
Yeah,
because of we already have a rat problem.
yeah, not a bad idea.
It's not really his job, but I don't want to have to deal with the rats on top of
Yeah,
all this bullshit.
absolutely. Um, so Jacob, you've maybe gone back in the house then and are doing that, and you're kneeling on the floor, and as you're kind of gathering it up in the kind of the paper, you have another. You almost can't help yourself from having another look at the burger, and something happened between then and now when you look at the burger, it looks absolutely decomposed.
I fucking swear this is bullshit. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in a wrapper, put it in a bag, put it if
Yeah.
there's another bag, throw that in there, and just like chuck it in the neighbor's yard.
And yeah, so yeah, and you know what? It's yeah. Just as you swing back to throw it in the neighbors, something slithers out of it and drops down to the ground, and you get another wave of the smell of it. And I'm gonna have you roll a Constitution roll.
Mm. It's middle of the road. It's like good or bad. I don't know. Like on. That's can I spend luck on it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the 2 points of luck to pass that.
yeah. And you definitely feel as though your gag reflex has been tested tonight quite thoroughly, but you keep it together. And a few seconds later, you hear a vehicle pulling. Actually, you know what? Let's actually flip over to the gas station where Harvey's at. Harvey, you step out of your vehicle and into the gas station. You see a few vehicles fueling up nearby. Some of them pull up, and the attendant inside the store kind of looks up to you. You can see rows of chips, the coolers with drinks around you.
All right. I'll take 3 coffees and one of those spinning hot dogs. Actually, make that 3.
Three of them? Okay, sounds good. And she kind of moves over and with a fits them into a bun and packs it all up for you and
I look
gives
at them.
you.
It's good.
They look much better. I mean, they've been here for some time, but they're still much better than what you just saw in front of you. Nothing moving on it of its own accord, anyways.
That's good.
And she said, "Are you working in the area?"
Oh yeah, I'm just on the job site down the street. And I'll mention that area.
Oh, Maple Street. Yeah, there's a lot of places. Most of that street's been empty for some time. One of the houses burnt down. I don't know.
Burned down, huh?
Yeah, I think the one about two doors in, two houses in, I think had used to be a big estate. Some doctor lived in the area, and it all burned to the ground. It's been sitting for years until we saw the signs go up that there was construction last summer, and before we knew it, yeah, it looked like they split it into two separate infills.
Yeah, that's what I'm working about on. Yeah. Thanks for the dogs.
Yeah, no problem. Well, have a good night. And she gives you a smile as you step out, and
Yeah, I don't smile back. I just leave.
yeah. So it's good. You pull up back at the house, and you can see there's that. I'm guessing Dave's probably gone back inside by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll drop
Um,
off the hot dogs.
yeah, you step out of your vehicle and you're just headed towards the house when you see over on 131B, you can see a woman, Sammy, is on her knees in the yard, and it looks like she's throwing up into the snow.
Hate to be her. Walk.
And you walk past her and into the house, and you can see Jacob and Dave are kind of milling about, and you just haven't quite got back to work yet, and just having some kind of
Well,
muted
I'd like to
conversation.
actually check on her because I'm not that bankrupt.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Yeah. So maybe you get up to the front steps, and then you kind of think
everything
about
okay
it.
there?
Oh God, that food was awful. Is it my stomach feels like it's moving?
Yeah, it was awful. Hey, I got a hot dog.
Mm. Oh, yeah, I don't think I could eat anything more right now, to be honest with you.
I'll check the hot dog. Is it now rotting or is it
As
still
far as
hot?
you can tell, it still looks fine.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
Uh,
get your shit together. I'll leave.
oh, gee, thanks, Harvey. And she says, "Man,
No sweat.
Gary's Gary's cut is looking worse and worse, but he's being a stubborn asshole about it as usual."
He can't do the work. He should go home.
She says, "Well, I guess that's one way to look at it." What a fucking prick. She kind of moves back into the house. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take the hot dogs and I'm gonna drop them off to David and Jacob. But I will
Uh-huh.
also say, yeah, this is how much you owe.
It's like, yeah,
What
I
about
guess these days it's probably I haven't bought a gas station hot dog for a while, so it's
It's gonna be
probably
like $3,
$3.
probably.
Yeah. And you're like to the penny on it. Like,
I
Yeah, you
do
owe me a $3.25.
I'm like doing quick calculations if this guy's like PayPal, but like no, he doesn't. So I'll just hand him the cash.
Cash is king. I don't accept these newfound internet money.
Yeah, no e-transfer here.
Dave, you already know. You already know he's a cheap bastard.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
That's fine. You have good credit.
Thank you.
Okay, and with that, it looks
Back
like
to work.
back to work. There are hours ahead. You're less and less enthused about this job as you go, and
You just do the
you
job
all
and leave, right?
yeah.
I'm kind of lowered my work quality, and I'm
Oh
starting
yeah,
to work a little
a
faster,
little faster.
just so I can get this job done. So I'm cutting corners because I
Yeah.
just want to get out of here.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Let's go to I don't want to. Yeah. I think we'll go to Harvey first this time. We'll continue with Harvey a little further here as you get back to the job. You are carrying boards upstairs now. You're working on the upstairs door jams. Um, and stepping into one of the bedrooms upstairs, Harvey, you look around to realize that somebody's actually put up wallpaper in this room.
All right, who did this?
Yeah. Besides being fairly out of fashion for homes these days, you also you're kind of standing in the darkened room right now and realize that it is a very tattered yellow wallpaper. You can see wilted flower patterns, kind of it looks stained and has the overall effect of being a little bit withered. The more you look at it, the more you can see it peeling in places.
Okay, this is kind of weird. I'm gonna look at the pile of wood I sorted, right? Again, the bag.
You've brought the pile of wood is back outside in the detached garage, but you've got a good handful with you that you've brought in.
Is the good pile now bad? Are there now bad ones in the good pile?
You know what? It seems like you might have missed one. That's
I don't
funny.
think
Is that you were
so.
pretty sure you did a really good check through and got just the good ones to bring in, but it looks like one of the ones you've cut is a little bit moldy or a little bit soft in the middle of it.
No, I wouldn't have missed that. I don't
Okay.
drink on the job.
What
What's
what
going
kind of
on?
what kind of conditions have they kept this in? And just then you notice something move on the far opposite wall in the kind of bedroom.
All right. Well, that kind of spooks me. Can I roll sanity?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll
Yeah,
look towards it.
it rolls sanity and it looked to you like one of
Oh,
the
what the
oh
92.
92.
I dropped my pile of wood. I'm get
Yeah,
startled.
it clatters to the floor at the top of the stairs, and you look and seeing through this tattered wallpaper spread across this bedroom that you're sure when you did the check through with the others that all the walls were bare and just painted in kind of a beige color. You saw one of the flowers in the wallpaper move,
What
and
the fuck?
and again you have that moment of trying to tell if that's what's really happening, and it moves again, and this time you actually see it's a cockroach that crawls out from under a ripped piece of the wallpaper and crawls up a little bit and peeks out before kind of crawling back in through another spot into the wall.
What the fuck? I'll yell out loud, and then you hear all the wood dropping.
Yeah, and I think on that failed sounding roll, yeah, you definitely let out that exclamation.
Is it one, Sam?
Yeah, go one sand for that at the moment. And as you step back, you hear maybe Jacob on the main floor, kind of. Jacob and Dave are both maybe working on the main floor, and you hear that, and you can look up and you can see just going up the stairs. There's the kind of landing that leads to all the different bedrooms, and you can see Harvey's up there. There's a clatter of wood kind of hanging over the edge of the stairs.
Yeah, I'll set down my tools, and mainly I just want to go see if he got injured because I don't want any delays on this job.
Yeah, absolutely. You are setting down your okay, interesting. I had that there. Okay, sounds good. You set down your tools and run up the stairs. Dave, maybe you're in the middle of something and you didn't respond quite right away, but you've turned the corner back into the kitchen and you realize as you hear this commotion upstairs that it looks like the basement door is open, leading downstairs.
Okay. Um, I'll kind of stand there for a moment and listen at what's going on upstairs.
Yeah.
And really, I'm just listening to kind of get an idea about what might be going on.
Yeah.
If everything sounds fine, then I'll actually go downstairs and investigate the basement.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. And you hear the sounds of Jacob kind of exchanging words with Harvey upstairs, and it doesn't sound like it progresses much further.
Okay.
So you step onto the stairs leading down, and looking down at your feet, you realize that it looks like there's a little bit of a smudged footprint on the stairs. They haven't been carpeted over yet, and it looks like it's just kind of a wood step leading all the way down. And there's a footprint, and it looks like the footprint is, you'd have to guess that it might be in blood, as strange as that seems.
I'll I'll kind of stepping over the footprints. I'll step down the stairs far
Yeah.
enough I can kind of like lean down. I don't want to touch it, but I want to see if I can get a smell of it, see if it smells like blood.
Yeah. You get closer to it, and you get just the little bit of that hint of kind of coppery smell to it, and yeah, you're getting the sense that maybe it is blood, and once you step into that stairwell leading down into the basement, you automatically have that feeling where a little bit of the sound of Jacob and Harvey talking upstairs mutes a little bit, and what you're now hearing is dripping and water running coming from the basement below you.
I am not a plumber. I am not a plumber. I'm going to go back upstairs
Yeah.
and get Harvey and Jacob.
Okay, sounds good. You head upstairs. We'll catch up quickly, just a few seconds with
Yep.
Harvey and Jacob at the top of the stairs. Jacob, you've joined Harvey at the top of the stairs, where Harvey's looking into a room. You can see a darkened bedroom where he's kind of standing at the threshold of. There's wood at a pile of wood at both your feet. Jacob, you see him just almost bewildered staring into this room. You can see to your left is the master bedroom. There's that. You can see that there's another bedroom, kind of bedroom slash office off, kind of leading back behind towards the front of the house. And there's an old teddy bear just sitting at the edge of the landing, just at the top of the edge of the stairs. And Harvey is looking fairly freaked out.
Yeah, I'm gonna look to see what Harvey is mainly look to see if he's injured, but also just Harvey, you good?
Uh, they got fucking roaches. Look at that one, size of a rat. And they'll point towards the wall. What the fuck?
Do I see the wallpaper?
Jacob, yeah, I'm going to have you roll a sanity check. You have even been working up here and you never saw wallpaper before or anything like this.
Oh, that's a pass 59 under, I believe 65. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think at this point you're more caught up in what's happening than anything. But I'm going to have you roll a dexterity check for me too.
That's a 40 under 70, so just regular.
40 under 70. Okay, so you kind of step and then realize that there are kind of these 2-inch boards scattered all around the floor that you're kind of stepping over. And as your heel hits one, you kind of lose balance for a second and catch yourself. You can see the boards themselves are just slightly kind of hit by that, and one kind of bounces into another. And you can see as the boards kind of move for where your foot solidly finds ground as you step towards Harvey and look into this room. You can see that you are staring into a room full of tattered wallpaper. There is a gray carpet on the floor. You can see terrible dark stains in it. This room looks like there is evidence of water damage, of just damage of the elements and time. Yeah, it's dramatically different than what you saw earlier tonight. And just out of the corner of your eye, perhaps, as you kept your ground, your dex check kept you on your feet from tripping over these boards, but you can see the boards kind of bunched up and bunched backwards and nudged the teddy bear, and you can see it almost too solidly drops off the edge of the stairs.
I'm gonna go kick the shit out of that teddy bear.
It has actually fallen over the edge of it, so you'll have to run down the stairs to do
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna grab it and just punt it like a football. I'm sick of this shit.
So you're coming down the stairs after it. Dave, you've come back onto the main floor and are heading to go up, and a heavy, soggy splat lands on the floor in front of you, and you can see this mildewed teddy bear erupt on impact, and almost a ball of maggots kind of spill from the fractured seams in it from from pieces of fluff, and they roll out, and it's just barely missed you.
Oh my god, I'm just backing up from that. I'm like, oh shit.
You hear the sounds of Jacob just kind of thundering down the steps beside it. He's got a little bit of a frantic look in his eyes, perhaps. And Jacob, you turn around the corner of the stairwell to look at the teddy bear, and you can see that it's split open on the floor. There is a mess of kind of bug ichor and viscera kind of leaking from it, as well as maggots just inching across the floor towards Dave.
I'm fucking sick of it. Let's just do this job. I'm gonna go back downstairs and I'm just gonna maybe put on some music, just lock the fuck in because I want to get out of here.
Yeah, you're Dave. You're You see, Jacob has looked at this. He looked like he was about to put a fist through the wall for a second there, but now he's kind of gone back, and you hear the sounds of him working a screwdriver in another room. A few seconds later, you're still standing there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a sanity check based on that, because
Yeah. I
that's
think that's
really kind of crazy. That's a failure on my part.
okay.
Um,
You know what? I think we'll graduate it up to a D4 at this point, having had
okay.
it just missed you, and when when you see this mess on the floor moving, you feel a wave of nausea come from your stomach and pass through the rest of your body.
So that's a one, and I'm just really, there's blood on the floor. There's this thing. I'm just really kind of put off for
Yeah.
a moment. So um, I'm going to move into a different room to get myself
Yeah.
away from what I'm seeing, and it's going to take like 5 minutes to myself. It
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Sounds
yeah.
good. Let's flash back to Harvey at the top of the stairs.
This is
Jacob had
disgusting.
joined you, and after something happened, and he just ran back down the stairs away from you, and you're now standing on the second floor by yourself.
I kind of want to get out of work, so I'm gonna start documenting stuff. So my union, so I can file a grievance with my union.
Yes, that's probably a good idea. This is unusually bad. You
Yeah.
have a suspicion that in terms of all claims filed, this would probably take the cake, or this is something that you'll talk about
Yeah.
on future jobs.
So yeah, I'll go into the room and I'll take some pictures of the bad working conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you do so, yeah, you're snapping pictures of that room. You come out and almost you're aware of the boards, but you're not aware of the 10-year-old boy who you almost crash into. And you can see he's just stepped into the top landing. You can see a long hallway to your left where there wasn't a hallway, and you can see this boy is in kind of a bathrobe sort of thing. You can see his hair is unkempt and scruffy. His eyes are rimmed with red and have kind of bags under his eyes. There is a slight line of snot running from both nostrils down into his mouth. And
I think that definitely scares me because I was not expecting a 10-year-old boy.
yeah, absolutely.
All
Yeah,
sanity.
roll sanity. Yeah, that's
I feel.
you fail. Okay, yeah, give yourself a D4 for that one for sure.
I'm like, what the? Two.
And he looks up to you and says, "Have you seen my daddy?"
Listen, kid, this is a job site. You can't be.
I have a bad cold.
Um. All right. Why don't you come with me? We gotta find your parents, kid.
it, it almost seems like he's about to break down and cry.
Oh, easy. Eat this. I'll hand him a hot dog.
Yeah, and do you think you kneel next to him to pass him a hot dog,
Why
or
not? Why not?
yeah, okay, yeah, sounds good. So
Whatever fits.
so you're fairly up close to him, and you realize maybe at just the last second that he's not winding up because he's sobbing, he's winding up because he's sneezing,
Oh, I'll
and
take a step back.
and just as you step back, he sneezes, and a flash of stuff comes from his face.
No!
Splatting into you. Give me a con check, actually.
Oh, please.
It's like an area blast of
May I use my bonus die I got
yes,
from
yes,
for
yes,
doing a
yeah,
hard day's work?
yeah. Thinking of all the work you've done so far is that you do not want to get sick on this job.
I do not want what this kid has. Okay, well, 97 fumble to a 07.
To an 07.
That's right.
Nicely done. And yeah, I think on that, you've stepped back and what little of it hits you, you brush off with your sleeve and get it off your skin as quick as possible. You can see that it looks like the sludge coming from his face is dark and black, and you kind of look down at your sleeve for a second, looking at what you just wiped off yourself, and when you look back up, the kid is gone.
Ugh, fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna start documenting. I'm gonna like see, hey, this is really bad, and I wanna leave.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
get out of here. I'm tweaking. I'm
You
seeing.
are seeing things. There are things were moldy, gross. That you had suspicions that there might be a general health risk in this place, and now you might be hallucinating. Jacob, you're working, and there's probably thoughts going through your head of what bullshit this is, how you're never going to work with Rich. You're going to tell everybody you know to avoid CAS construction, and you're just screwing a receptacle into maybe into the kitchen just above where the counters are.
You want me to do another craft roll?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
See if I can. Oh, that's just a regular success.
A regular success. And yeah, you are, and in this case, yeah, that's going to mean that you're completely focused on this as you're screwing this in. You just have a brief feeling of a step behind you or someone nearby, before you feel something shoved over your head and pulled tight. You can see it's a partially clear kind of bag that's been pulled over your head, and someone is standing behind you holding you. So I'm going to have you roll a strength check just to see if you can hold on. They're pretty much pulling you backwards.
Oh, that's a regular success.
That's a regular, and I have an extreme here. So you feel you fight it, you're pulling at it, and you feel yourself pulled backwards onto the floor and are like kicking and pushing and trying to move, but everything you can see is through this gauzy kind of semi-clear bag. It smells of mold. It smells of waste and decomposing food. You are thrashing on the floor. Is there anything particular you'd like to do?
Yeah, I want to get whatever I have in my hands, so probably a screwdriver, and stab this person because I'm not dealing with this bullshit.
Okay, so don't roll just yet.
Fight or flight.
Yeah, you're feeling and this silence is trying to suffocate you, and you feel around and you think you may have dropped the screwdriver when you fell, and you're feeling around and you feel your fingertips hit it and your hand closes around it. Let's just flash to the others. I think Harvey's still upstairs taking notes. Dave, you've been taking a few minutes to collect yourself and think about what's going on when suddenly you hear a crash in the kitchen and just hear the sounds of Jacob's feet scrambling on the floor trying to find purchase.
Okay, that'll snap me back to reality, and I'm gonna go in and see what's going on.
Yeah, you come into the room to see Jacob lying on the floor. It appears that he's holding a plastic sheet around his head with one hand and fumbling on the ground. You're not sure what he's going for, but it looks like he's suffocating himself.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and I know what I'll do. I'll go over and I'll grab the bag.
Yep.
And rip it.
Yeah, nice. As you go up to rip it, Jacob, you see just through the kind of muddy plastic bag, you see the shadow of your attacker leaning over you as it's tightening around your throat.
This guy's getting stabbed.
So go ahead and make your roll. And Dave, you then see, just as you're grabbing the bag to pull it, you realize that Jacob's other hand is holding a screwdriver that arcs up towards you. So I'll have you roll either dodge or fight back if you want.
Okay. There's not much difference between the two. I'll do a dodge roll is what I'll try to do.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll keep it. unknown until he does his roll.
Okay. Jacob's like, I'm going to use my bonus to I got from.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Let me get an
Can I-
impale.
Yeah,
Can I use my bonus right now because I
you
just failed
absolutely
that?
can. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Go for it.
So this is like a bonus die, right?
Yep. Yeah. So you replaces your tens dice.
Much better. Much better. That is a regular pass.
A regular pass.
All right, 40 over 25 is a failure, sadly.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so it comes up and Dave, you're able to dodge out of the way of it, and he takes a wild swing at you and pulls away. And Jacob, as you pull away, you see one of the hands of your attacker on the bag, and it rips the bag open. As you stumble away, you're kind of pull up to your knees, and you can see Dave standing across from you.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Someone attacked me. I was put that
Well,
over my head. I'm gonna
Why
do a
are you trying to
sanity.
stab me? Trying to help you, dumb bastard.
I passed the sanity, but I'd like to still take one if that's okay.
Yeah, please do. Yes.
Because I haven't lost enough sanity
Yeah.
for this shit. All right.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to give Dave a sanity roll on that too, because the whole thing was pretty jarring to see Jacob on the floor.
Yeah, that's a pass on my
Okay,
part.
yeah.
But I'm still gonna take one just because.
You know what? Yeah, it goes into the more weirdness pile. Upstairs, Harvey's running out of patience quickly, and things are not looking good. You're checking room after room after room off, and coming into the bathroom, you can see that there is a newspaper placed over the sink. This is the upstairs bathroom, kind of right beside the room you were in.
Yeah, there's been no plumber working on this. What's going on?
You hear a like gurgle in the toilet nearby, but nothing else
hell
happens. And yeah, you can see the newspaper itself. It seems to be open directly into like the middle of the paper, and for some reason, one particular article catches your attention, kind of that you glom onto in the middle. I'm going to either attach it here or let's see what I can do. Well, I think that'll work. Yeah, there it goes.
All right, let's read this.
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
Attack on memorial service, April 2nd, 1994. The closed casket viewing for Dr. Curtis Wilson was interrupted yesterday by an unknown female assailant who chased guests from the memorial with a modified shotgun. The attacker is believed to have then used gasoline to destroy the room, including the remains of Dr. Wilson, before escaping. Police are investigating this as potentially connected with an earlier arson this year. Sadly, Dr. Wilson was preceded in death by his wife Marlene and their children, Elise and Tanner. The Wilsons' oldest son, Arnold, is currently missing. The police have set up a hotline for any information regarding this case. It is currently modern day. This is an old newspaper.
Yeah, it is. It's well out of date, and
This shit's getting too freaky for me.
You
And the
hear-
toilet's been gurgling, right?
you hear another big gurgle from it, and what sounds like a bubble kind of pop from.
I'll
under
look
the lid.
over. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, well, not holy, but otherwise correct. And you see water beginning to run over the sides of it and
hell
down onto
no.
the floor.
I'll take a picture of that and then leave.
Yeah, you snap a picture and step out. It doesn't escape your notice that you can hear some kind of kerfuffle going on in the kitchen below.
Everything's going crazy. I look over. I'll look out one of the window holes to the next property, 131B. How are things going in there? Do I see anyone? Are people getting stabbed there?
Yeah, you're standing on the second floor and looking out a window towards it. You're surprised to see that the window you're looking through is looking directly into the house, as though there's no space in between the houses. And you're literally on one side of a piece of glass, and you see Dan on the other side of the glass. He has got a screwdriver out. He's working on lights uh above it, and just by the framing of how he's in, you could tell that you're looking into a main floor bathroom in the other house. He's got his earphones on and music, and clearly he's bopping his head a little bit to music. He looks directly at it and opens his mouth as though he's looking at his teeth for a second and picks something out and flicks it aside and then goes back to what he's doing. And yeah, I'm going to have you roll a sanity check just as you're watching this.
Oh man, humble. Like 100. Actually 100.
Actually 100. Okay, take a D4 because this, you know that
I'll
this
just take 4 because
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
take
I guess
max.
100, right? Yeah. 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 So that's perfect. And you can see that as he does this, he has no idea that you're seeing him. He pulls back and then moves over and pulls open the cupboards. You can tell that he's literally looking. He must be looking at. He must be right in front of the mirror in the bathroom in the house next door. And as he kind of goes under the counter, he's working on doing something underneath the sink. You see the shadow of someone outside the bathroom kind of step around the corner, and Gary
I'll start knocking on the window, but he can't
okay,
hear
yeah,
me,
okay,
right?
yeah. You start
He's
pounding
about
on
to
it,
get murdered.
and you can't. Yeah, there seems to be no sign that he can hear you as you see Gary come into view. And you can see Gary's cut hand. You can see the lines of dark veins pulsing up his arm, and you
Oh
can
boy.
see there's patches of purple skin and yellow skin, like very like bruised looking skin running up his body. He has a crazed look in his eyes. You're pounding away on it, and Gary looks directly at you, looks directly into your eyes, and smiles as he brings down the mallet. So I will have you roll another
Dang.
sanity check.
All right. No matter what happens. Oh, I rolled a 12. What the? It's crazy. I passed.
You know what? I think in that case, what you'll take one, but you're still. I think you're still stunned from the fact that you're seeing what you're seeing, and yeah, you can almost hear the impact. And as you kind of fall back, the other two down in the main floor have pulled apart. You hear a doorbell ring through the house, ding dong, and followed by a knock, and the front door opens. Rich is standing in the front door. You kind of, Harvey, you have eyes down to him from up on the second floor. Jacob and Dave, you're both in the kitchen and can see around to him. He seems to have a few others with him. Goes, how's it going, guys? Knock,
Oh, it's
knock.
great. It's great.
Anyone?
Yep,
It's-
we're progressing. Well, I'm just gonna lie through my teeth with this guy.
Yeah. I brought you some reinforcements here. Help get the job done a little quicker.
Sure, great. Yeah.
You know, on nights like this, I think a lot about my father. And he's kind of calling out to you in the kitchen and upstairs to Harvey. Like, you know, he meddled in things he couldn't understand, and he destroyed our whole family. All this consumed me, consumed them, consumed me, even though I've slowed it. Tonight will be the beginning of this for everything. And he steps back out to let the other workers in. And you can see what remains of the other CAS workers, not at the house next door, but the ones who originally, yes, the monologue, the
He's
evil
monologuing.
villain. Yeah. And as he steps back out of the way, yeah, you can see three men shuffle into the room. Harvey from upstairs, perhaps you can't see much of them, but Dave and Jacob, as you see them stumble into the house, they move a little too close to each other. One of them, the one in the center, seems to be fairly fixated on the two of you. One behind is staring up kind of just absently towards Harvey, but you realize that the three of them seem to be connected together somehow. As they move forward into more light, all the rooms in the house are lit up. You can see their coveralls, their blue CAS coveralls are smudged in dirt and filth, and they seem to almost just be by pockets of filth and debris and other things on them. You can see other molded work material stuck between them. They seem to essentially be a blob of three conjoined corpses together, kind of moving towards you.
is there a door to the outside from the kitchen?
There's a window, man.
There is a window and there is a door, the door that Harvey was using to get to the backyard.
Okay.
I think I'll go easy on Harvey for this one because I don't think he can see a ton of detail from upstairs of exactly what's going on with the three of them. You can tell three people have entered the house, but the two of you, I'm going to have a roll a sanity check to see this.
That's a success.
Yeah,
A success.
success.
What more can this night throw at you? You're not sure, but you're able to withstand this sight anyways. And as you turn back to towards that back door, Dave, you can see now that coming to it, instead of leading outside to the backyard, you can see a carpeted hallway leading deeper into a house
Shit.
there.
Shit, that's right.
By the looks of it, you can see the walls are wallpapered and old. You can see there is the carpet looks wet and squishy.
I open the door, I shut the door, and then I go and I try to jump out the window at this point.
You turn back to look at the window, and the window is actually a mirror now, and you can just see yourself looking desperately at it.
No.
Yeah, just running in circles.
Yeah. And they lurch towards you. Jacob, what are you doing while this is going on?
Jacob is going to appear to be going back to work. What he is actually doing is prepping an electrical wire. Does it look like these things are like coming towards me?
It does, yeah.
I want to prep a wire that I can just shock the give it the full power of the house.
Nice, yeah. So you realize, okay, yep, your main line's coming through here in the kitchen. You, in fact, you can give me a craft roll actually, because I think I know where you might be doing this from.
Yeah, that is an 8, which is an extreme.
Okay, yes. So you go and you look at that receptacle you were just installing, and then you think twice and move over to where the oven would go, and you can see there's a much larger plug-in there where it draws a lot. Yeah, the 240. And you start working at that, and you're going through, and you have kind of spare wires. You got insulated gloves on, and you're working away at that. We're gonna say that's gonna take you to make an elaborate trap. Why with that? Are you comfortable if we say it takes 1d4 plus 1 rounds?
Is it a trap or is it literally just me getting a wire?
Oh, I see. You're gonna put it in one side and then run at it with the other.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? In that case, as you're doing that this turn, I'll say that you can try to attack with it next turn.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because it's just the idea is this thing's going to come at me and I want to just appear like I've ignored it, not noticed it, and then just turn around and poke it.
And zap it. Nice. Okay, sounds good. Harvey, what are you doing at the top of the stairs?
So I just saw someone get murdered through a mirror,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you said the floor is open so I can see down.
Yeah. There's an edge of kind of top landing where you look.
And
over
I hear
at
her the monologue, right? That we're gonna kill you. So yeah, I think I see Dave. He's panicking, right?
Yeah, he panicked. You probably don't have eyes on Dave because Dave's much further back in the house, and your main view is to the.
Screaming, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think you could probably hear some panic.
If that's the case, let's say, can we say there's like a paint bucket or something near me?
Absolutely, yeah.
Can I chuck one down at the 3 figures?
Yeah, please do. Yes.
30 in throw. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's fail this horribly. But oh my die. All right, here we go. 85. I make it.
And it bounces off the wall beside it, and you can see a kind of moldy gray sheet of paint splash across the wall and run down it as the paint runs, and that paint maybe has been sitting there for a while, you think. And let's go into Dex order at that point, because I think this is a thing now. As you're doing that, the thing is lumbering towards the kitchen after Dave and Jacob. I have Jacob up first, actually. As poor Sawyer just stepped away for a second. No, there you are.
I was just interested in. I was thinking about how much this would do to it, but Yeah, is this thing coming at me?
It is into the kitchen. You can see that one head, it's like the center one pulls the whole mass along. One head is kind of turned and is just moving along and watching Harvey upstairs as the rest move in. But the other two heads are fixated on you and Dave. You can see there's a hand holding a very rusty looking saw. Another one is holding a hand with a hammer. But the four remaining hands are all just reached out and stretched out to try to grab you.
I just looked at my sheet. I have a power drill too. I'm
Hell
gonna
yeah.
have that ready. I'm gonna be buzzing it, but really, I'm just gonna shock the shit out of this thing.
Okay, yeah.
Home Alone
Gee.
antics.
You're waiting for it to come close?
Yeah, I'm baiting it in.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, yeah, you're still kind of playing dumb to it a little bit. I have Dave next in the order.
Dave is going to continue to try to find a way out of this house. That's my plan.
Yeah, you could probably run around back the other hallway now to the front door if you wanted. You just saw Rich Lee. You'd be going right where, for all you know, Rich could be standing right outside. But
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like that's better than being trapped in a house.
yeah,
that's-
whatever this mass is coming towards you is no good. So you dash out of the kitchen, run down the side hallway through the living room, avoiding the thing as it's coming into the kitchen. It's now fixating completely on Jacob as it moves towards him. You reach the front door, pull it open, and Harvey, you now see Jacob, or sorry, Harvey, you now see Dave come into view at the bottom of the stairs that you're above. And you can see he passes to the front door, opens it, and you can see soggy carpet awaiting you, leading into another hallway, leading into hallways. You can see rooms going to your right and left, it winding back through a house. There's pictures on the wall. You briefly see a happy family of 5 on the wall in a framed picture.
I just kind of stand there at the door and I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, and you're standing there. We have Harvey, and then it will be the monster's turn.
Ooh. So I'm still upstairs.
Yeah.
Shit's going down. People are screaming. I want to get out. God, I'm gonna go down the stairs. It's the only way.
You're gonna go down.
Besides
You
jumping. Yeah.
you know there is you maybe in the corner of your eye you can still see there is that hallway where the little boy came from on the second floor. There wasn't, and I mean, yeah, you certainly don't have to go down it by any means, but you're sure it wasn't there when you, well, you know for a fact it wasn't there when you came in, but your mind's since been reasonably scarred. So
I'll look at the tools I currently have on me. So I've got like a hammer and a handsaw, and my trusty power sander. So I'll equip myself with that, and I'm no way in hell I'm going down that hallway unless it
yeah,
unless the house changes
yeah.
and makes me go down it. I'm going down the stairs.
Yeah, sounds you
Yeah,
you know what? And I think as you're going down the stairs, you're halfway down before you hear it your steps squishing as you realize that at some point the stairs have become carpeted and you're now walking through stairs that have the carpet sinks in and you can feel there's an underlying moisture. No, it doesn't. And
does
then
not feel good at all.
You reach the bottom and you are standing with Dave in the front entrance.
What the hell's happening?
I don't know. I was trying to get out of here. There's this blob of guys that are going after Jacob.
And then I see the monstrosity.
Yeah, I think that at that point
Jacob.
you can see it. You get a eye line into the kitchen. You can see Jacob, as far as you can tell, maybe hasn't noticed. He looks very fixated on his work still. You can hear a little purr of his power drill beside him, as he's bent over in the kitchen, kind of looking at one of the electric sockets. The creature's just steps behind him, slowly closing in on him. Harvey, I should mention to you as well, you probably do also have a little pouch full of nails and screws as well.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
And do we see not Rich at all?
Yeah,
Or
there's
did
no
he
sign
run
of
off?
Rich now. He seems to be gone. You're sure when he came in to let this monster in, he was outside, but now
There is no
Dave
outside.
There is no outside. Dave's holding that very door open, and you can see the door stands open, and you can see a hallway leading into a much older looking house,
All right.
seemingly ravaged by disaster.
We gotta survive. We gotta do whatever we can to survive, Dave. I'll turn on the nearby table saw. Lead him over here.
Yeah. Jacob, you're in the kitchen,
This is not
and
how he's supposed to use tools.
a a kind of partially decomposed hand, still a little bit puffy with in death, kind of just you can feel it just fumbling at your back as the rest of the mass slowly circles around you. I think as you declared what you're literally waiting for this moment, so I'm going to let you strike before it does.
I'll use a bonus on that. That's a down to an 18 under 25. So
Nice. And what were you rolling?
brawl probably, unless you want
Nice.
me to
Yeah, yeah,
roll
yeah.
electronics or
Yeah, no, I think that's a great roll, and with the idea being that you're now shoving this exposed wire into the thing.
yeah, that's just a regular success.
Okay, sounds good. So you do, and it sparks immediately, and you hear the sound, a sharp crack as it's electrified, essentially. I'm gonna have you roll 2d10 damage if that sounds roughly right for you.
First roll is a 0, so that's a 10.
That's a full 10, yeah.
Second one's a 9.
Holy smokes. Okay, that is
I don't know what like electrical damage is. It wasn't in like the other damage type section of the book, but I'll take 2d10.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, fair enough. And you see the main center one that was grabbing you begin to shake as electricity is passing through it. And what I'm describing slowly, it really happens like in the blink of an eye, like it's in a second. You smell the smoke of already composing flesh, or you smell already decomposing flesh burning as it passes. Oh, there is electricity. Ooh, okay. So I
Yeah, I
probably
think
have it
it's like
somewhere in here.
under like 120 volts. Like if you straight up control F.
Oh, okay.
I'll find.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Um, you can see that the entire thing is, you hear this the squish of an eyeball popping as the electricity runs through it and goo runs down the side of its face. Um, as it's shocking, you hear downstairs somewhere the fuse blows and the electricity powers off, but you have the smoking, shambling thing in front of you. You can see it wavering in its steps now. Um, yeah. Yes, you did say you used your bonus die. Oh, good. Okay. So it swings now at you with whatever strength it's got left. You can see that it's in rough shape. It's seared. There's pieces of it, burnt pieces of garbage falling off of it. You might even see a burger wrapper fairly similar to the ones you saw. I'm just looking here. Oh, 2d8 plus stun. Okay, sounds good. So you know what? We did a little bit more, but that's okay in this case because you
We
guys
can
need
just we can
you need
forego the stun for this one.
Yeah, you can forgo.
you know what I think what we'll do is we'll say that the center one in particular is stunned and it's holding the hammer, so it had raised its hammer to hit you, so instead that hand is just shaking and it seems to be stuck in place. Another hand just tries to go across you with an old wood saw, so
I'm
I'll have you, yeah, you could fight back, you could dodge.
I'm hoping like yeah, I'm gonna dodge. I'm gonna hope it was somewhat disoriented by like the lights all
Yes,
shutting off, but yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Uh
absolutely.
that is a fail, 85. Um yeah, I can't
Okay.
really spend luck on that.
So it gets a regular success despite I'm giving it a penalty dice, but the saw is actually, well, I don't know if the saw's better than the hammer, but you're going to take 4 damage as it just slices across your arm,
Ugh.
and give me unfortunately a constitution roll at the same time. Well, how to go?
Oh, sorry. I said I'm getting tetanus. That's an 88.
Oh no, you're getting tetanus. Well, if you're lucky, you're getting tetanus. But
Yeah.
you feel the beyond the sting of the cut in your arm, you feel something worse. You feel something. All the skin almost burns hot almost immediately as it happens. Um, Other hands grab at you, and that I roll a 92 on. So regardless of, would you dodge or fight back?
Probably dodge again.
Okay, dodge again. Yeah, give me a roll, and it failed, so I think it's safe to say.
Is that with a penalty because it's my second time? That's a fail, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, the hands grasp at you, but you can see that they're not quite clenching now. The whole thing is there's smoke coming out of three pairs of eyes as this is happening, and you're able to duck underneath and pull away. We're up to the top of the round with you, Jacob, as you've kind of just slipped away from its grasp for the moment.
I want to, since the power's out, I want to, hmm. I might just stab this thing with a power drill.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
I don't think I'll get the roll. Actually, I did 16.
16, okay. It you hit it easily, actually.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of brawl, but seems to be pulling its weight. That's not going to be a lot of damage, though.
Well, I might have
Wait, no, I'm looking at so that's one. Oh, I did the wrong roll. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's
no
one
worries,
for
take your
the
time.
D6 to 5 damage.
Okay, so that's actually enough. So as this thing's trying to grab you, so you did a heck of a lot of damage with the electricity. So you slip in close to it, and it's probably the center one. So what do you do with the power drill?
I just stick it in it.
And you're like revving it as it is, and it's pushing deeper into the center entity's head as you do it, and you can see bits of flesh and gore flopping out of it, just like you're drilling through a piece of wood sort of thing. And then suddenly there's a pop, and you have that lurch forward where the whole your whole body kind of moves forward against the thing. The middle body sags. You see a line of drool drip from one of the side heads as it kind of stares at you from the corner of its eyes, but it is helpless. Its arms can't do anything, and the whole thing, based on the weight of the middle one kind of falling to the ground, pulls the other two down as well. And the hands kind of reach out for you for a second before they kind of begin stopping and slowly dropping to its side.
I'm going to do a sanity roll, but I also like to think he drops the drill and it kind of peels away from the head. Now it's just like the button stuck, so it's just like flopping on the floor.
Yeah,
Ugh.
absolutely. Yeah, flipping back and forth. Yeah.
That's a fumble on the sanity.
Oh my lord.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna have you you're gonna take 6, I'm afraid. I'm gonna have you do the intelligence check. You just shoved a drill through a body's head. So
I have high intelligence. Yeah, that I bounce. That's at 35 under 85.
oh no, so that means you will have a bout of madness. Okay.
The filth. The filth.
It's yeah. It's,
yeah, give me a D10.
that's a 6. I don't remember which one.
A 6 on the list I'm using from the Keeper's Guide is the investigator faints. They
No.
recover after 1d10 rounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're catching your breath and you look at this
You
thing
pass
and
out from the nausea.
yeah, it hits you the stink and smell of it. And roll luck for me to see if you fall face first.
I didn't roll a
into
high luck. I followed the power drill. Yeah, I failed 84.
Oh no!
No.
And your eyes roll
What
back
the-
in your head, and you fall directly into it with a splash. Okay, Dave and Harvey, your turn comes.
We gotta save him.
We're out of combat now. But yes, you're both there. It's you've heard an electric shock. The all the lights in the house have gone off. You're in the dark now.
Oh, the power the table
Yeah,
saw also turned off. That's thankful.
yeah. So just
We're about to do
slowly.
something real reckless with that. I'll
I'll pull out my
let's see how
flashlight.
Jacob's
Yeah.
doing. All right, my union's gonna hear about this.
Out they are.
I'll head towards Jacob and try and see what the situation is like.
Yeah, the
I
two
hear
of
a power
you.
drill going off, right?
Yeah. You can see it's a battery-driven one, and you can, as you go in, you can see a horrible sight. Actually, I'm gonna have you make a sanity roll,
Oh boy.
despite it. Yeah,
All right,
I'm
I'm about to
sorry.
hit indefinite. So see
Oh
what happens.
no.
65 I failed.
Okay. I'm gonna give you just. You've already seen the monster. Now you're seeing the monster dead. You see Jacob lying in the center of it, basically on a pile of filth all around him
Ugh.
and liquids.
He's in filth.
He's in filth. Yes, Dave. How are you doing? Did you follow?
I did follow, and I passed.
Okay, you pass.
What's the damage if you fail?
In this case, I'll just give you one.
All right, I'm indefinite now.
Yeah, if that was enough to push you over, that's fair.
I can't take this anymore.
Okay, so for indefinite, I'm just flipping through the. So, yeah, I had it here and moved past it. Do you get a bout of madness at that time as well? As you
Yeah.
take indefinite? Yeah, okay. So yeah, give me a D10 roll for the bout, and then we'll deal with the underlying insanity after.
All right, that's a 7.
That's a 7. Oh, and I'm looking at the summary ones. That wouldn't work here. Flee in panic. The
I'm
investigator
trying.
is compelled to get as far away from possible by whatever means are available, even if it means, it says in this case, taking the only vehicle, leaving everyone else behind. It means you're for next 1d10 rounds, you're just trying to get as far away, in this case, from this mess on the floor.
I think I'm gonna run down that new hallway I saw.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm losing it.
Yeah, you dart off from it. You can see, you hear Jacob kind of groan. You can tell he's not dead, but your senses are overwhelmed. You've had enough. You run for it. Dave, you see Harvey snap and take off. Jacob seems to be rolling around in a pile of 3 other bodies.
Okay, I'm gonna let Harvey go for the moment and pull Jacob out of this mess.
Yeah. You pull him out, and you can see as you do that he's taken quite a cut on his arm. It seems like the bleeding stopped, but you can see the flesh around it is puffy, bright pink.
Okay, that's not good. It looks like some kind of infection to me. So I'm gonna pull him out. Does the plumbing work? Like, does water run in the tap?
I don't know if
Yeah,
you want to use the water here.
Well, that's
yeah. You turn on the water in the kitchen sink, and it does that thing where it's trying to keep like after if you've had the water turned off for a while and then turn it on, and then it starts pouring through. But you could see that there is a very stale smell that hits you as it's running, and
okay.
and
All right, I just shut it off. I don't use it because it's not good. Yeah, I'll just clean it the best I can with what I've got, and then I'll throw his arm over my neck and kind of walk both of us in the direction that Harvey took off in.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. And you step through the threshold into this older section of house, and immediately you can have the smell of mildew. You can immediately have just this feeling of weight almost settles over you from the air in here. You hear Jacob kind of give a little moan as his eyes flicker, and he starts to kind of come to. Harvey, let's find out if you see him far ahead of you in the hall or not. Harvey, you ran. You're trying to get as much distance as you can between you and that scene. You can see that the hallway keeps going on, comes to an end, and turns left. You can also see that there are rooms to your left and right. Oh, sorry, you might be muted.
Hallways lead to exits, so I'm gonna keep going down to the down the hallway.
Okay. So you come down the hallway and stagger around the corner and keep moving on. By the time then that Dave and Jacob come into the hallway, uh, Dave, you're holding Jacob up and carrying him into the hall. You feel again stepping into here this rumble emanate from your stomach, and just a little bit of illness. Yeah, we're in the zone for time. We're doing good, thank you. Yeah, you feel a little revulsion pass through you again, and but then it kind of settles a little bit for you to be able to move forward.
Okay.
You can see you are in a hallway. There is a door to your right, door to your left, and the hallway continues on until it turns left at the end.
Okay. If the doors are closed, I'm going to keep going. I figure
Yeah.
in Harvey's state, he'd probably left the door open if he'd have went through it.
You can see one of the doors is ajar. And looking into it, you see nothing. It appears to be an empty laundry room. You can see there's the thing set up. You can see there's a washer and dryer. They kind of against the wall. You can see there's another sink here and a tall cabinet in the room.
Okay. I just look at it and keep going.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Sounds
I don't-
good. You feel as you keep walking, you turn back, look at the other door. You can see that there is it is closed. There, you're gonna keep proceeding forward down the hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. You keep going. By the time you get to the corner and turn around it, you feel Jacob kind of stir and wake up in your arms. He's kind of been half aware, and now you're kind of full conscious, Jacob. You can feel that from the squishiness of the floor under your feet that you can only surmise that you're in the other part of the house now, or this conjoined house. Dave, you come around the corner um, to find another hallway leading on. And you can see that to the side of it, there is a large kind of great room it leads into. You can see there looks like a pool table in there. You can see there looks like kind of maybe a half bar set up in there. And as you step into the room, you find Harvey in there. And how is Harvey doing when you find him?
I'm breathing heavily. I don't run often, so I'm catching my breath. There's a panic look in my eyes. I'm looking for all the exits in the room,
Yeah.
but I'm not finding any.
It's almost like you're in a downstairs rec room, as impossible as that sounds, and yet there are no windows, there are nothing but the door leading back to the hallway you came from.
We gotta get out of here.
Is there like the equipment for pool stuff, like the
Oh,
pool cues?
yeah, exactly, yeah, absolutely, yeah. You can see those around. You can see, yeah. Actually, give me a spot hidden.
That's a fail.
Fail. Okay, yeah, you can see pool cues. You can see more kind of frame pictures. When you walk up to them, you see most of the actual images are washed out as though they've been either molded over. Some of them have, you can literally see green or black mold stretching across pictures. You can see two very ruined looking couches in the room.
I uh,
Oh.
I'm gonna like stumble over to the pool table,
Yep.
and I want to take off one of my socks, get the pool ball, stick it in the sock, and
Ooh, I
use
like
that as a
that.
makeshift weapon.
Yeah, sounds
Oh
good.
boy.
That's for Rich.
Yes, it is.
When'd you learn to do that, prison?
I was there for a little bit. Bad job.
How about Dave?
Yeah, Dave is coming into the room, and I'm not going to remove my socks, but I'll look around for something I can use as a weapon as well.
Yeah, you could probably find a pool cue. You could
Yeah.
probably
Yeah, I'll pick up a pool cue. That sounds like a good option.
It's got some reach to it at least, which kind of makes you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, can break off the
The tip, yeah,
the tip end and make it sharp. Yeah.
get a spear. Very
Oh,
nice.
um,
Yes.
I got my power drill and my my what do you call it? My power sander.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. You think it's got a little portable battery to it that
Yep.
nice, yeah. The three of you are making your preparations, and then it comes to a point where that it's just the three of you kind of looking at each other, trying to decide who's gonna break the silence and push you on when you hear the sound of a telephone ring somewhere nearby, and it kind of jolts you all. It's an older sounding telephone, and you can see that it is in the far side of the room with you. It's up against a wall, and it rings again.
Just a bad dream. I'll pick up the telephone.
You're gonna pick it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
And you hear a woman's voice on the other side of the phone. Hello, hello, are you in there?
Yes.
Is there anyone alive?
I'm alive.
You have to stop Arnold, okay? There is something bad happening here.
Arnold.
We thought we had years ago, and the voice says, whatever you do, is don't let it contaminate you. And you hear kind of a static on the line for a second, and then it stops. Her voice is gone, and now you hear a small girl's voice on the phone saying, "Daddy, Daddy, is that you?
No.
Why did
I'll
you
hang
make
up.
us?" And you just hear just as you hang up, you hear, "Why did you make us sick, Daddy?" As you hang up the phone.
Ugh. Ugh. Hate that. Hate that very much. Whatever this is, in order to get out, we gotta stop it. We gotta stop this guy named Arnold,
Who's Arnold?
and we can't get contaminated, or else it's over
Now you mean contaminated like
by the
Jake-
filth.
Jacob over here with the cut down his arm?
Oh shit! Maybe we can find some alcohol.
There is alcohol here.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well,
Just
there was
pour
a
it
bar.
out.
I assume there's some.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, alcohol. It doesn't really go bad, right? Its
yeah,
properties are still good. So,
yeah.
stand still, Jacob. We gotta disinfect you.
Get some Everclear.
Yeah, that'll work. So yeah, I'd like to treat Jacob's
Hey,
wounds.
yeah, sounds good. Give me a first aid roll.
Absolutely, with pleasure. Ooh, I'll spend luck. I'll spend 10 luck in order to make that pass.
Sounds good.
Doing this for you.
Dave, what are you doing while he's treating his wounds?
I guess I'm kind of just checking the room out. If there's other doors that lead out, not where we
Yeah.
came from, but other places that we might check out. I
Yeah,
won't
there
leave.
is. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair. Yeah, that's fair. There is one far door on the far side of the wall that you could look
Okay.
at.
Yeah, I don't want to go through it. I just want to
Yeah.
open the door and look, see where
Yeah,
it goes.
you give me a stealth roll as you do it. Actually, if you're trying to be quiet and
Yeah, see how good this goes. Yeah, an 87 is not going to do it.
no, and the other two kind of look up for a second as they hear the creak as you open the door. But to your relief, there is no enemy. It's just a small room on the other side. You can see it's a bit of a small library and an office. There's a desk in the center of the room. You can see there's a typewriter on it. And you can see there is quite a wall of books. They seem to look fairly mildewed. There is a bit of a coating of growth almost covering some of the books.
And I'll turn to the other two and I'll say, "Hey, I saw Rich sitting in his truck reading some weird book earlier tonight. I wonder if there's a copy of that in here."
Did you get a look at the cover? You might be able to match that up.
Maybe I got a good kind of a look at the pages he was looking at. Had some weird writing on it.
All right, let's check it out. Sure, as long as we can get out of here. I'll look around.
Yeah. And Harvey, you would spend a little bit of luck on that first aid roll, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So it was a pass. So yeah, let's give Jacob a HP back. and you can feel the wound still burns a little bit, Jacob, but it's bound up yet, and you're pretty sure that Harvey's done a good job. That there's not going to be any more dirt. He's tried to clean it out with some of the booze as best as he could, but you're feeling like you can keep going, at least thanks to this. The three of you are still together. That's a good thing. You could see Dave has stepped into the room. He's kind of looking around. Dave, you can see there is the bookshelf on the wall. You can basically look at the desk a little closer, or go right to the bookshelf if you want.
I'm going to go to the desk first and
Okay,
just
yeah.
see what I find there.
Stepping up to the desk, you can see there is a single book right in front of where someone would sit. It looks as though, I'm just gonna open it here myself. It looks as though it's a little bit mildewed itself. It looks as though it's even a bit charred in places. There's some damage to it, but you are able to flip it open if you'd like.
Yeah, and I'll kind of like put the book on its spine and then let it drop to see if it like opens to a particular page. Because sometimes books, if you
Yeah. And you get the sense almost where it opens before that point. It's almost all run together and stuck into a single mass. So you kind of really more or less come to the first legible part of it that you can find.
Okay.
If you are ready for a little bit of reading.
Yeah.
We'll try to speed it up here as we're going. We're close to the end
here. Okay. Down the small stack of books and moved it to the front foyer. To my surprise, when I opened the door, I saw it was none other than my old comrade, Athelia Green. I welcomed her in, of course, and I took her through the house. It was only after I introduced her to Marlene and the children that I realized that she was here on business. The business of the bad old days I'd left behind. Marlene told me later how she felt unnerved by Athelia. She'd always had that effect on most. The inner intensity, Marlena even asked if. Yeah, sorry,
it's not
I
easy
messed
to
up.
run. Yeah, no, don't worry. It's
That inner intensity. Marlene even asked if this meant that things were happening again. She wanted to know what it was we'd talked about in the office for so.
Cuts off there. You turn the page to see more, and I'll just interject here. I accidentally gave you my original handout. That's why it's so hard to read. Tom typed them up much better, so I will give you an upgraded one for the next page, or the next page that you can read, rather.
The truth of the matter was, yes, for the first time in over 10 years, Athelia had come across the cult once more, and worse, they were practically right under my nose. She'd come to enlist me as Hoffer and Billings were gone now, it seemed it would be the two of us. Athelia's gifts and my acumen with the rifle would have to see us through. Marlene had always done her best to understand the work we did, but we'd never told the kids. How could I shatter their world with this dark knowledge of beings beyond our comprehension and ability to understand the evil, the cruelty, and the ambition that ran through their cults and of their eldritch gods?
Okay. And yeah, I don't worry. I'm just figuring out. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give you one more page here, and then we'll move forward. And yeah, you flip ahead a few pages and find another one that fits. I promise this is the last one I'll have you read. Sorry.
2 weeks now since we dealt with the intrusion, and life seems to have gone back to normal. Athelia naturally has disappeared back into the woodwork without a word as to where she was going or how to get a hold of her. Truthfully, that is just fine with me. I'm ready to put all this business behind me for good. If the world needs saving again, I think a new generation had better be ready to step up. I was able to resume reordering the library at last, but to my surprise, found a large lump of dirt behind a small set of my more esoteric books. Yes, indeed, now the bad business is done. with the time to clean up around.
And as
So-
you're finishing that, you hear the strike of a typewriter key. And followed by another one, and the typewriter has come into life beside you and is typing.
The hell? What is it typing?
Oh, hold on. That didn't come through. Let me try again here. Yeah, here you go. Let's use this. Perhaps Harvey joins Dave in the room at this point, and after it types for a second, you hear the ding and the page rolls up and stops.
Okay. It's all in gibberish, but I think I can make it out. It says, "Hello, check beneath bottom left drawer. Please release my boy from this hell. We cannot be saved. I'm sorry." Jesus. It's like they're part of, they're like, are they ghosts haunting this house? I'll check the bottom left drawer then.
Yeah, as you pull it open, you rifle through a few pieces of nostalgia or debris before you come out with a leather-bound tome. This one, Dave, you immediately see Harvey pull this out, and it looks like quite a bit like what Rich was reading in the car. Harvey, looking at it, you see that it is titled, and it has. Sorry, I have the name of it, and I just lost it here. Sorry, I'm just going off a Word doc here, and oh, sorry, there we go. Yeah, sorry, I totally had it here and then lost it. You look at the book and you can see that in old faded letters, you can kind of read the broken words on it, and it says "The Beckoning of Nakai" on it. And opening it up and looking through it, you have a hard time immediately understand if you can make sense of it. It could be some kind of ritual or something, but among other things, you see um, several different things, including something of some kind of ritual called "Cleanse the Flesh" and "Unraveling Scour."
What the hell? Um, this is in English, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
what is it telling? What does this stuff do?
Um, we didn't quite delve into your full indefinite insanity before, but I think now, how do you think you've been affected since?
Well, this is weird. This is strange. I just want my money. I just want to get out.
Yeah,
And but I'm seeing strange shit, and
yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. Okay. So a little bit overall bewilderment, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, as you look it over, yeah, what you see is you're trying to put sense to this. As far as you can tell, it actually seems to be what you would call magic, essentially, or some kind of ritual or something like that.
Oh boy. This is mumbo jumbo. I don't want anything to do with this. What do you think of this, Jacob or Dave?
Yeah, you hand it over to them.
Uh,
Um,
looking at it, I was looking at like cleanse the flesh, and it's like, is that how we get rid of the filth?
yeah, you
Maybe.
know what? The more you read about it, the more the language is very archaic, but it has to do with something about the purification of the flesh and soul.
Worth a shot.
And what is the other one?
The other one looks like quite the opposite. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say the opposite. The other one is called Unraveling Scour, and seems to be of a similar nature, where it would more be using mystical forces to scour something clean.
I mean, we could. I'd like to try the first one because I don't want to get whatever this thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Do you want to?
I could read it, try to perform it, and cleanse Jacob's flesh.
It either works or it doesn't. It's not like
Yeah. Yeah.
What will it take to do one of these?
I don't know. Maybe there's some like,
You just read it.
yeah,
Just looks
maybe
like reading.
I don't know.
Take
It's
some
not
time.
not going to sacrifice anything. Maybe
The only thing you're sacrificing is that all three of you have an innate sense of wanting to get the hell out of here.
we could save it for later.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll close it. I want to get out of here.
Oh, interesting. Okay, you know what? I'm going to note that down. And yeah, so you hang on to the spell book and take it aside.
Yeah, I will. I'll take it.
Okay, yeah. In that case, the three of you decide to head back out to the hallway.
Okay. Yeah, if there's no other exits.
Yeah,
Yes.
nothing. Yeah, nothing. You when you look in the office again, you see that there were once windows in there, and it looks like on the other side of it you can see bricks with some kind of fungus growing over it.
Hmm. Oh boy. Well, we got to put a stop to this. That seems like the only way out. So, and if they thought that that was important, whoever this typewriter ghost was, it's probably important. So I'm guessing that it's the family of the guy's house who and the guy got infected on his in his work. So because he did mention he had a family, and I did see a boy, and I did hear a young girl, so that's probably his family. It's probably yeah, this is real. This is real bad. We got to use whatever's in that book.
Yeah,
So let's
I think
try
you're right.
using that cleanse the filth thing.
Okay.
Why don't you read it out loud and like point it at something dirty in the room?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'll
I mean, what's a good idea is this entire place needs to be demolished or it needs a good power washing.
yeah, no kidding. Um, I'll give it a try, like here in the room.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So did you? It sounds like cleanse the flesh you'd use specifically on something living,
Oh,
whereas unraveling scour you'd
I'll do
use
it on
on
Jacob.
either.
He's
Yeah, he said he didn't want us to do it right now.
I didn't want to spend the time before doing it.
well, if it's important, it seems
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, we could try.
I'm
Why
definitely
not?
filing a grievance.
Okay. Yeah,
Make sure this is recorded too for the union.
I'll video.
yeah, yeah. So Dave, as you read through this, you find that you fall into a cadence as you're reading it. I'm going to have you roll a power check.
That no.
No, okay. Um,
Yeah.
this is alien and unnatural to you. As you're reading it, you feel for a moment, all three of you feel an energy in the room, something building up behind Dave. And for a second, Jacob, you look down at your arm and hope, and then suddenly it fizzles out to nothing. And you're the three of you are just back in silence again.
Guess I'm not a natural magician.
So you can make that come back, right?
Oh, can I which? Sorry.
No, I'm talking to Dave.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
What is it now?
So
I
his
did-
arm's gone?
No, his arm's still there. I think.
His arm's
Uh,
still
just-
there. Nothing happened.
Oh, I misheard you. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
sorry,
his
sorry,
arm
yeah,
fizzles
yeah.
out into nothing.
His
Like,
arm,
what the
no, sorry, the growing magical essence in him for a second, yeah, it seemed like something amazing was about to happen, and then suddenly it stopped altogether.
I can give it a go. Magic is like electricity with a few more
Yeah.
steps.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
I totally thought you fucking.
Sorry, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, what?
It vaporizes it. No. As he begins to pass the book to you, you hear a woman scream outside
Oh jeez.
from further down the hall. You want to give it a try?
Yeah.
Jacob, yeah. Okay,
I'll
sounds
look
good.
out the door since I'm not concentrating on this.
Yeah, you go back to the front door, and you get the sense that after this, the hallway goes around another turn, and you could see a little bit of what looks like a bigger room, maybe a front entrance type room.
I got a 39 under 65. I can spend it down to a forward if needed.
No, don't worry about it. And again, as Harvey's looking out the wood, sorry, out the door into the hallway, Jacob starts reading it again. And Dave, this time some of it's almost a little bit familiar to you as you hear Jacob saying some of the same words. He keeps going with it and manages to work through the last words of it. And looking back down at his arm, you can see that the worst of the pinkness and the worst of the little bit of yellow ooze that was starting to pus around it has disappeared.
Oh, that worked.
Parts of the wound itself is closed up. It looks as though yeah, and you know what, take another HP back as well as
Can I roll sanity too?
yeah,
Shit
yes,
is
please.
magic.
Yeah,
That's a success in sanity.
that's a success. Normally the revelation that magic or so whatever this is real would probably disturb you a lot more. In the context of today, well, it's good to have at least something on your side.
All right, let's head towards that scream.
All right, we've armed ourselves with what we can, and we've cleansed Jacob. So let's go.
Yeah. Dave, as the other two lead the way into the hallway, you feel another rumble in your stomach as the remainder of that burger still causing a little bit of issues. And step into the hallway. The filth from all sides of you feels like it's closing in as the three of you move forward, and coming around the next, you can now hear the sounds of Rich's voice speaking as he's talking, coming into a large entranceway. You can see there's a stairway leading up. He
Take him out.
He stands in front of what seems to be a hole in the universe.
What
There is something
the?
open directly in front of him, and you can see that it is like it opens into what looks like a strangely, you have a huge scope beyond this circle in the wall that opens to a large cavern. You can see there is a pile in the center of some kind of liquid that rises up like a small mountain inside it. Tentacles from it are sliding out from it and around the edges of this rift or whatever it is. And you just have the glimpse of the carpenter Dina, who is working next door, getting pulled through it and disappears as multiple little bits of tendrils have grabbed her and pulled her through. You can see Dan lying on the floor here. You can see a stain of blood coming down his face. He's unconscious. His body lies inert at the front of this portal. You can see that Sammy is there as well, the one that Harvey had seen throwing up outside. She seems to be dazed and lying on the floor. Gary stands above them, mallet in hand, holding guard, while Rich is reading from the same book that Dave saw in the car. There is another three of the conjoined workers between you and them, though, that lurches and turns to see the three of you coming into the room.
Oh shit! It looks like we don't got the drop on him. Time to fight.
Okay.
They see us.
Let's use one of the spells and see if we can't fix some things. I'll run interference while you guys do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have in this case I have Jacob again with the 70 decks at the top of the round.
And the other one was like unravel the filth. Yeah.
Yeah, unraveling scour.
Somewhat like a gamble. I want to use that. I want to try to like point it at the thing.
Oh yeah, and shit, you guys, I'm crazy here. I'm gonna have you roll a sand check. You're seeing a literal rift in the universe to Elder Mythos entity.
Oh my god, I fumbled. What the? I rolled 100 again.
Oh,
horrible.
My god. And we got.
So I take max. Like 100.
You're gonna take 20.
Oh my god. About a madness then.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have an 11 sand.
Oh, how the other two do?
I got an extreme.
Okay, well, yeah. You guys are still gonna take 3 sand damage from it. But you are stealing your mind and focusing on moving forward.
I'm
Alex,
not.
yeah, give me a D10 for
Yeah, sure. 1.
a 1. Where are you? Who are you? How
Oh
did you
my
get here? What is that? You're completely confused suddenly as everything hits you at once. You see literal monsters in front of you. You have
5
two
rounds.
strangers. 5 rounds. Okay, yep. Strangers standing beside you, and what you can infer from the situation that you're in danger, but little more than that.
Holy shit. What's going on? What's going on, man?
Harvey is starting to crack beside you. You hear him.
I've been cracked.
He's been cracked. He's losing it, Jacob. What are you doing?
Unraveling a lot of filth in the
Okay.
direction of all that stuff.
Yeah. Are you aiming it at Rich? Are you aiming it at the conjoined workers, at Gary, or at the portal itself?
Conjoined workers are the most immediate threat.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
I'm gonna do them.
Okay.
That's a hard success on the power if I needed.
Okay. And as he reads the words of the spell, Dave, you've stepped in front of Jacob to protect him as this creature steps in. You can see light and energy kind of moving from Jacob as it descends on this group of 3 conjoined workers. And you can see it stripping pieces of filth away from it. Yeah, give me a roll of 3d10 for damage, Jacob.
How many magic points have I used?
Yes, actually, I have that written down here. That one costs 5 magic points. And you know what? Cleanse the flesh actually costs 4. Do you have over 9 total?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I've neglected to mention that before.
That's
you gotta start taking from HP after.
Yeah, that'd be worth it. I remember my first 2 rolls. I think that's like 22 damage because I got.
Yeah. Hey, you can see this magic literally tearing this thing apart. And you can see that as it strips away at it, it's almost like being sandblasted. And you can see the pieces of these conjoined workers coming apart, falling apart. Now suddenly they are 3 individual men again before they each slump to the ground. And it's the spell is still going, and you can see it continues to scour them, and it's that decaying flesh is now being rubbed off until eventually there's nothing left but bone.
Whoa, that's sick.
Yeah, and I think you could sand roll again at seeing that, but
yeah,
I'm already in a bout of madness.
I'm about to.
Yeah. I think we'll spare Harvey from that one. So
I just hit indefinite, because 98. Is that a fumble?
Yeah.
It's a fumble, yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. So
if
I think
your sand's below 50.
It's not. It's 54.
Then you're good. Not a fumble.
Okay.
Yeah. So so yeah, if you fail, take a d6 of sand damage. I don't think Harvey really has the pass. Nice. Harvey doesn't really have the tools to understand even what they are anyway. Yeah.
I go indefinite.
Yeah. In this case, seeing that happen, Jacob, you are fixated on getting everything clean. Is that the idea of any type of dirt, any type of infection is abhorrent to you, and you desire nothing more than to scour every bit of filth from this place.
And start using HP.
All right, Dave, what are you doing?
So I passed that. The creature that was moving our direction has probably stopped.
Yeah,
I would figure.
Okay. Oh, it's crumbled. It's done.
It's crumbled.
It's skeleton and it's well polished skeleton on the floor.
Okay. Does Rich react to that at all?
No, he hasn't really seemed to notice you himself. He is focused on whatever he's doing to keep this portal open.
Okay.
You get the sense that whatever it is on the other side, you try to avert your eye from looking at it, but you have a feeling of something getting closer.
Okay. I am going to go over to Rich and try to wrestle this book out of his hands.
Nice. Okay. Yes.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
Very nice.
Yeah. You get it up in his face and Gary makes a half step towards you, but at that moment, Sammy tries to bolt and he goes back to trying to hold her down. You
Okay.
step past Dan's presumably unconscious form, and grabbing this book in his hands, he looks up at you, and you're kind of filled with now seeing like how much more decayed Rich has gotten since the night began. You can see that like he is in rough shape. His skin has a sickly pallor to it. He's most of his teeth are rotten, or there's something wrong with. You can see great sores in his face and his skin. And yeah, give me a brawl roll.
Nice. 7.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's extreme.
That is right on my extreme. Yes.
Nice. Impale?
Yeah, you know what?
If you can impale.
I think in this case you're able to pull it out of his hands, and for to celebrate that win. You know what? He's a little bit off balanced. As
Yeah.
yeah, I'll let
Yeah.
you seize the moment if you want.
I'm gonna push him into the portal.
Yes,
Oh.
okay. And you push him and he falls backwards through it, and you can see a little piece of this great mass of tendrils and liquid in this lake mountain type thing that in later years you might hear the word abhoth it referred to as. But a piece of it gloms onto him, and then another piece reaches out and sticks to that, and you can see him in this cavern now almost at a great distance from you, being pulled across ground towards this great lake of goo. The chanting is stopped, and as you're seeing this rift in the universe shrink as it's pulling through.
Yeah, I'll just back up away from, like, 2 or 3 steps away from all that if I can.
You hear a loud bang on you and realize that this room you're in is a front entranceway to the house. There's other hallways leading off. There's a great pair of double doors at the front of it that presumably lead outside, and you hear a loud bang from those doors. Harvey, you are up. You can see there was a man standing with a mallet over the 2 other captured workers. He seems to have gone still now and is looking around him like he doesn't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on.
All right. If there's no like threat, then that's good.
Yeah.
I'll just stand there, kind of like a deer in the headlights, shocked.
Yeah, sounds good. And
Is it over? Are we safe?
yeah, as seconds pass, the portal closes completely, and you hear another bang on the outside door.
I'll look. Who's there?
You hear a muffled voice outside saying, just yelling, "Open the door."
Okay. I'll look through the peephole.
Yeah, you go up to the peephole, and you're not even sure how you got into this weird old house, but it's way too damaged that even a reno could fix this place. Looking through it, you can see what looks like an older woman outside. She's standing on the front porch of the place looking back at you. If you're not mistaken, it looks like she's holding a shotgun.
Oh God. You're that woman. Oh wait, actually, I'm still amnesiac.
Yeah, no, you don't remember.
So I don't know her. So I'll just open the door and probably get shotgun.
Yeah, and she's got, and yeah, as you open it, you can see she pulls up the shotgun, but
whoa.
Yeah, she doesn't pull the trigger, and is it done? Is it over?
The big ass portal closed. I need to get to the Union Hall.
There's somewhere to be. And you can see beside her on the front porch of this house, she's got several cans of gasoline and the little jerry cans. And she says, "Not before we end this place for good."
You got the gun, lady.
And she steps in and sees Jacob and Dave and the others. "Are you okay?"
No, I'm not.
I'm frantically checking other people to see if they're clean.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Like,
you can see
checking
that.
inside their ears.
You get the sense that Dan is alive, but he's absolutely covered in filth. Sammy is thrown up over on herself.
Ugh.
you're quite disturbed by all of it. But
Boy,
the woman is in fact Athalia Green, and she starts to move around the room, pouring the gasoline in different places. And she said, "I've already burnt this place to the ground once, but hopefully this will be the last time."
we have to get it clean. We have to clean it all.
Clean.
Get rid of the filth. You understand, Harvey?
I don't follow. That's my name.
Yes.
Then I'll probably snap back into it. Like, oh
Yeah,
God,
yeah. You come back to yourself.
we just gotta burn this place down.
And we'll flash forward to outside within maybe 30 minutes later as your whole group. Sammy's helping Dan stand up. He's groggy and doesn't remember much of it. The six of you, including the older lady, are now standing outside watching this house burn. From the outside, you can see it now as these two separate infilth houses with something in between them holding on to both of them. Almost, it looks like a larger house for a second that's glommed onto them, but then it also looks like something parasitic as well that you can see it beginning to burn as both infills are consumed by smoke and flame. And well, that is the ending, but let's flash forward to what life holds for the three of you after this. Why don't we do Harvey first? As you said.
Life has definitely gone downhill for Harvey. He's at 11 sand. He probably needs to take some time off. Actually, he probably gets thrown into some kind of psychiatric
Yeah, I think
institution,
he's
and he's
institutionalized.
also unable to work, so he can't pay his medical bills.
Oh no, it piles up. Oh no, I'm sorry to
Yeah.
hear. We'll scan the camera down to Jacob next. What does the future hold for Jacob?
Jacob gets a job at a company like a firm rather than just doing contract work, so he can have rather consistent sort of
Nice. Yeah.
projects. So that way he is not going to be forced into an encounter like this again. But at the
Yeah.
same time, he is perusing various tomes, learning
Oh,
better ways to clean the world of this filth, this
yes.
eldritch filth.
Sounds good. And we'll scroll over to Dave. What waits for Dave?
Dave decides to try to find a cure at the bottom of a bottle. Ends up missing his alimony payments, gets taken back to court,
No.
and it's not good from there, actually.
Okay. As he kind of descends into alcoholism and struggles to put meaning with the things he's seen and come to terms with it, we'll flash to maybe a final scene of Harvey's family visiting him at the institution one day as the doctors swear he's making progress. He's making progress. And Harvey babbles something incoherently as they leave. And before our screen goes to dark, it slowly closes in, slowly zooms in on a spot of Harvey's flesh just behind his ear where nobody's noticed, where there's a little strip of black mold that's been slowly growing and expanding. And yes, that is where everything goes dark, and we'll call it a game. Thank you guys so much.
That was such a fun game, Mike. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Enjoyed it.
Yes.
Very good, very good.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much. I every time it stretches the log, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, three
No,
players.
it's
No worries. We'll
it's
be fine. And,
fine.
you each gave so much to your investigators. I love their
My God, it's
personalities.
oh shit.
Oh, we burned through that sanity by the
Yeah.
first. It was like one here, one there, and then no. It's
Fun fact. I just pulled all my material from people I knew in real life.
oh no, exciting. Oh, very
Not
cool.
great. Yeah.
Not great. Oh no.
It was yeah. It was good therapy.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Yes. Hopefully no one feels too gross. And I told Alex during the week, it's like, I'm gonna totally follow his footsteps and do a content warning at the start for you guys, and I totally forgot as always. So
We can add one in before. We'll
oh
make
sure,
Nathan.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I wrote like parasitic infection, rust, rot, mold, contamination, etc. I had the whole list. So the one little thing we moved. I was kind of going into fast mode and always at the ending, and so the laundry room had cleaning chemicals in it that you could have found and used,
Oh.
but it also had a washing machine full of rats that was a potential threat
Ugh.
as well. So you guys did really good. Sawyer did great taking down the monster in the
Oh
house.
yeah,
So,
that's
but,
240 volts.
yeah.
My brawl skill put in work way more than I was like, dude, I'm dying right away. I looked at my skill, but
You
Maybe
did
not.
that
great.
bonus saved me the one.
For doing a good job. All right,
Yeah.
let me just close out. All right,
Yeah.
so thanks again, listeners, for watching another RPG Reanimators. It's live actual play. This was Infilth, run by Mike M. Mike M. Is this available anywhere?
Not yet, but I'm in the final phases of editing it and going over the document. I test run it a few times already now, and I think now I'm at the point where I'm pretty close to putting it up on Drive-Thru RPG.
Beautiful. So we'll have a link to that updated. So have a good one. See you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out the RPG Reanimators podcast for horror scenario reviews, interviews, gaming discussions, and more.